Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. And balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Zeus, powers in the air. Zeus, we knocking on the door. Zeus, we wanna hear your soul. Yeah, yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People, them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never divides. Sitting for the block. Head buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night.
Good morning.
People's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Keys, that's a fact. It's a rap. I'ma bring it back. In the people's house. Powers in the air. It's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear your soul.
All right, let's get this show started. Oh my God, it is Friday. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We made it another week. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Crossing Raven.
Yeah. Feel like I'm stuck in a cycle. Yeah. It's like I'm stuck in time. It's like a curse.
There you go. Good morning, happy Friday, everybody.
It's like deja vu.
It really is.
It's me, Zeus. Deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. Deja vu when I first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage, your tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you get your famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my blast beat.
True.
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. They don't get replies if they text me. I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Let's go.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Here it goes.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off
Here you go.
spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple
Live.
of days.
Yes.
Shit was radical.
It really was.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone. Zeus has gone way off the rails.
That
It's
part.
like deja vu.
It hurts every time. It really does.
It's like deja vu.
You know, these are supposed to be people that care about you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back. Welcome back to the show. You know exactly why we are gathered. We are once again gathered here in the Thunderdome. Good morning, Lady Boss Monet. Nice to see you. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome to continue our hard work it takes to save this great country of ours, all right, from guess who? And we'll get into that in just a second. But once again, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. There's nobody more honest than me. All right, you might as well just pretend like my hands are resting on a stack of Bibles, big ones. All right, the second H is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. But here's the thing: just because your feelings are hurt, nope. We're all adults now, right? We're all adults, right? If you can't say something and disagree with people, then what are we living in? Don't we all have the right to disagree? So no. But if I'm truly wrong, right, then I'll apologize. But hurting feelings, absolutely not. All right. Most likely that means you need to sit your special behinds down, right, and listen to this special broadcast. Zeus, Big Zeus. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it, I am and will always remain the most handsome. Check out my features. Many of you know exactly why we're gathered once again in the Thunderdome, all right? Because we have to do what it takes to save this country, one show at a time. Each discussion counts in terms of helping to save somebody out there who's in the cult. And when I say the cult, I'm talking about you Trump supporters who've drinking the Kool-Aid. You know, you got your gold shoes pointed up north. And you're ready to peacefully enter the afterlife, right? And so this might be the one chance you have to get out of the cult, all right? Because what we do is like shock and awe in a way. We tell so much truth over here. It's going to really ruin your morning, honestly, especially if you're really deep in the cult. So I'll ask the audience real quickly. Do we have any Trump supporters out there still? Is there anyone still out there supporting Donald Trump? Just identify yourself. Don't worry. I don't need you to come up right now. I really don't. I just want to see how much heat I need to bring. Is there anyone out there that still supports Donald Trump and all of the things he's doing, which obviously aren't helping you? Good morning. Yes, I'm looking in the chat because, you know, they come onto my show and, you know, I played in the song. I haven't been to Zeus's live lately. They're in here. They're in here. They're on their backup accounts, right? You know what they do. They're on their backup accounts because if you know what we did to their main accounts, we sent them straight to hell. Zeus, I'll send your main account straight to hell. I have no problem. I sleep well doing it. But here's the thing. If you don't want me to ruin your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between, including the Cheez-Its and Diet Coke, you might want to leave this live, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. All right? But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Yeah.
If you're not happy in the U.S.,
Lady
you're
boss
complaining
Monet.
all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Yeah.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
You hear that? Hey, Dame. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you see Dame in the chat. This is a blagger, and I love checking in with Dame because he's been radio silent. I go into his live and listen. All of you follow Dame. My all the people who support this, follow him, and just every day go into his live and say, "Hey, Dame, did you get that $5,000 from Elon Musk, the Doge check?" He'll act like he didn't even see you write that in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, because he knows we ain't got nothing to talk about until we get the $5,000 busting out the rapper. And that's for all blagger out there. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about the 14th Amendment. No. I need my issue ASAP. Until you get the $5,000, blagger, if you don't got the $5,000, what are we talking about, bro? Seriously, I mean, I'm willing to hear you out, honestly, but without that $5,000, Dame, it's like this. Imagine somebody owes you $5,000. Are you really trying to hear them talk to you about this, that, the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees? No, you want your it's coming. Oh my God. Oh, he using all the tricks in the book, you know, because when you don't got the money and it's acted funny and your bill collector's call, you got to use those kind of lines. What other lines you got, Dame? All right, seriously, this is some funny stuff. All right, listen, let me go ahead and close the doors to this Thunderdome. All right, so now we're officially in the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Friday, so we're gonna end it on a good note. What did I want to talk about first? Well, Donald Trump he's leaving his corrupt trip in the Middle East. And we're gonna. It makes me sad because how many people want to see Donald Trump come back to the United States? How many people out there want to see him come back? Don't you think he should just stay over there? How many people want to see Donald Trump bring his deranged? He has cognitive issues, right? We know there's cognitive issues, right? But he's coming back, and this is the announcement he makes before he comes back. We're going to get this on the record, and then you know what we'll do. We'll get straight to judgment.
I've been doing this for 4 days. I leave now and get onto a 42-year-old Boeing.
The airplane he's talking about he's getting on is Air Force One. This guy cries about everything, and the airplane isn't 42 years old. I told you before, it's 33, 34 years old. I don't know why he's doing this other than, I know what he's doing. He's putting these thoughts into the minds of his supporters because they're going to be around here repeating it and then trying to use this as some sort of justification to allow Donald Trump to accept this $400 million gift from a corrupt government. All right. While he's also asking that they take cuts to Medicaid and their Social Security and pay more at the grocery store. All right.
I've been doing this for 4 days. I leave now and get onto a 42-year-old Boeing. But new ones are coming. New ones are coming. And it's been an incredible 4 days. I want to thank your family. Your family is so unbelievable. The job they've done. And your father has been really incredible. The job they've done here is incredible. And we've made it work. And, they were being wooed by others. But there's no more wooing. I think we're in pretty good shape.
Absolutely.
There's no more wooing.
No more wooing. So what we do is that's just an admission to guilt. This is what I would do if we had to go take him to court about this gift that he's accepting, violating the Constitution. The emolument clauses and all of those other disclosures you're supposed to make when you're a federal employee. You're supposed to disclose all that stuff. Sort of like Pam Bondi should have disclosed when she was being confirmed that she was making hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Qatari government. I mean, it's like you're just going to commit crimes in front of the American people's face, sir. So you've been wooed. You've been over there getting wooed. And then you're going to bring your dirty behind back to the United States. What a disgrace.
I've been friends with these leaders, the 3 leaders in particular that we saw over the last 3, 4 days, 5 days. And they're great people. They're great people and they love our country. And we love them. So it's been a tremendous time. And now it's time to go back home. My daughter had a baby. I'm going to go back home and see that little baby.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is warm up the lake of fire for the president, the so-called president of the United States. He's just confessed to getting bribed as far as I'm concerned, right? And we know that's totally illegal and it's unacceptable. And then I saw someone in the chat say, well, Zeus, we got a gift. They call it the Statue of Liberty, right? And they say, well, if we could get the Statue of Liberty, that's just the same thing as Donald Trump accepting the $400 million gift. Let me ask the audience real quick. Does anyone think those are the same thing? Does anyone think us getting the Statue of Liberty is just like Donald Trump getting a $400 million airplane? I'm going to ask the chat because sometimes my mind might not be working correctly. Okay, no, not at all. W to the chat. So now that's 3 things I'll do when I do the lake of fire. I'm going to warm up the lake of fire. To the knucklehead, I call him a knuckle dragger, that actually tried to make that seem like it was justification, for why Donald Trump should be able to illegally accept an airplane that has not been checked, right? And it's not safe for him to do it. Now that I think about it, let's talk about Donald Trump's safety. How many of you think it's unsafe for a president of the United States to accept a $400 million gift from a country that, we've basically considered the T word? Isn't it unsafe to accept an aircraft from another country, especially one that has been deemed a T group? Unsafe. So the sitting president of the United States of America is placing his own safety at risk. And then they get on James Comey yesterday. I did a video about it. They're getting on James Comey. You can't even put numbers on the beach anymore. You can't even write numbers on the beach anymore because every time, you know what MAGA does? They turn around and try to start crying. Trump supporters are some of the most weirdest people I've ever seen, and they're all deranged cult. How does MAGA continue to try to portray themselves as victims? after January 6th. How can you all try to actually cry on the internet as if y'all care about the Constitution? You know, safety. We concerned about the president's safety. Well, he's not even concerned about his safety because he should know better not to accept a gift like that. He should have not put Pete Kegsbreath in there because we saw what Pete Kegsbreath did right on the Signal app. And by the way, I'm not letting go of the Signal app, but all of these things, he's putting Pam Bondi in there, who's compromised, right? She's accepting money from all these things that are putting the president's safety at risk, and MAGA doesn't cry about any of it, but they turn around and cry about James Comey. So MAGA, guess what? You're going into the lake of fire this morning. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, then I guess, you know, he's supposed to be bringing in another grandchild. And, you know, that's a positive thing, but it's being overshadowed by all of this crime and corruption that he's doing, him and his administration. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. To everybody out there that continues to support Donald Trump, placing himself at risk as well as this United States of America. And then you turn around and you start crying. Big old crocodile tears. Oh, the Democrats. It's not the Democrats, it's you. And do me a huge favor. Go straight to hell. I will never let a Trump supporter get up in here and start crying to me about what they think someone in government did until they first acknowledge that January 6th was something that this guy in the background planned and organized. All right. Case closed. Nancy Pelosi, I'll even say this. I'll give you Nancy Pelosi, right? Because, you know, fine. Maybe Nancy Pelosi was in on it too. And you could go ahead and blame BLM and Antifa. But you can't convince us that Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States, along with Mark Meadows, John Eastman, Jenna Ellis, and the list goes on. Rudy Kaludi. You remember Rudy Kaludi? All of them were in on it too. And y'all gonna end up being lured to the Capitol. And you know what you did? You brought the thing out to try to take out the VP of the time, Mike Pence, W. Zeus. And then y'all get on TikTok. Oh, it's always these Democrats. I seen what Don Jr. posted about James Comey, and I'm like, Don Jr., come on, bro. Stop it. Until y'all, and then you see not Mike Pence, but J.D. Vance, he did a little speech talking about how much the Trump administration backs the blue. And I'm sitting there going, who believes the Trump administration at this point? It's a disgrace. I don't want to even entertain it. Like I said, and when I talk to Trump supporters, especially the blagger ones, the only thing I want to see is, did you get the $5,000? Remember all that waste, fraud, and abuse that Elon supposedly found? Remember all the people that were going to be let out, you know, and convicted? We haven't seen anybody getting convicted for the waste, fraud, and abuse, and we haven't seen the $5,000 Doge checks. And so, yeah, we're going to keep the pressure on you, Trump supporters. Now, the other thing I want to do is get Lawrence O'Donnell. I haven't brought him out this week, but we got to bring Lawrence O'Donnell out this week, ladies and gentlemen, because what Donald Trump is trying to do with this birthright citizenship and these injunctions, it's downright disgraceful. It's evil. It's wicked. It's corruption, especially when you know he brought these South Africaneers into this country and he's going to allow them to terrorize people of color. All right. And he probably gave them the Doge checks. I bet you if you ask those folks, did you get the Doge check? They'll say, yeah, we got Dame's Doge check. And he just let how many of the Mexican cartel become citizens? Yeah, you're right, Yazzie. He's letting everybody get the golden treatment in the country except for his supporters. His supporters, y'all got to keep kissing him in his dirty diaper. It's disgusting, WZ. Let's get Lawrence O'Donnell in here, ladies and gentlemen, because we got to talk about birthright citizenship and these injunctions, all right? This is very important stuff.
Which trials in that overturning Roe versus Wade opinion? Remember the way Samuel Alito all but climbed down from the bench to argue the case in favor of criminal immunity for the criminal conduct of Donald Trump while he was president? Samuel Alito and the other Republican judges on the Supreme Court tortured themselves
I remember
to
this.
create out of nothing what they claim is a constitutional principle that had never been written down anywhere by anyone, that the President of the United States is immune from criminal investigation and criminal prosecution for anything he does in office. But today, that same Samuel Alito
Here he goes.
was tied with Clarence Thomas in having the least to say in the hearing. Neither one of them offered any support for any of the Trump arguments against the actual words of the Constitution. Words that say, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens of the United States.
How many people agree with Lawrence O'Donnell and the Constitution that all persons born in the United States are United States citizens? How many people know this to be true? How many people understand that that's true? I just want to check the temperature. Thank you. Everybody with common sense knows that's true. But yet, you will see Trump supporters on this app. I've gone to their lives, and they will literally pull the Constitution up, get their open AI out, Chat GPT, Grok, whatever they use, and read it, and then tell you, now what I just read, that needs to be interpreted based on my level of intelligence. How intelligent are you? What's your highest level of education? Why are you asking me about my education, Zeus? And then they crash out. Well, because I want to make sure you're able to process the information you're reading. I think the Constitution is very plainly stating that everybody born in this country, well, Zeus, you got to understand what year it was written in. Here we go again. Listen, MAGA, let me say something to you. When you read something and you find yourself going back in time, just stop. Just stop, because you don't know what the heck you're talking about. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate when we talk to Trump supporters and they want to go all the way back. How far are we going this time? Oh, we're going to go back to Joe Biden. How far are we going to go back this time? Oh, we're going to go back to Barack Obama. How far are we going to go back to this time? Oh, we're going to go back to Bill Clinton. How far are we going to go back? Oh, we're going to go back to Jimmy Carter, and so on. We're going to go back to FDR. We're going to go all the way back to Abraham Lincoln so I can prove that I'm right. You're not right. Okay? Sit your special behinds down and stop interrupting folks out here who are really trying to do real work. It's disgusting.
That's what was at stake today in the Supreme Court. The very definition of who we are, the very definition of who is a citizen of the United States,
crazy
a
stuff.
Definition that has been settled beyond dispute.
Thank you.
Since 1866 and before that.
It's been settled since 1866. You geniuses, shut your lives down. If you see anybody on TikTok going forward, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and try to bring people up and argue something that's already been settled since 1866. Do yourself a huge favor. Just leave the live and leave that live broke and disgusting and dried and abandoned like a desert in Africa, because there's no truth that's going to come out. I'm going to be honest with you. They don't know what they're talking about.
That has been supported by the United States Supreme Court in repeated rulings that confirm the constitutional law that all persons born in the United States are citizens of the United States. The lawyer who last year argued to the Supreme Court that as president, Donald Trump could order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate his opponents is now the Solicitor General of the United States. And today, Solicitor General John Sauer told the Supreme Court that the Constitution does not say what it says.
No.
He told the Supreme Court that all persons born in the United States are not citizens.
The structured motorized pergola system
Hold on.
is
So he goes into the Supreme Court and tells them, what I'm reading ain't what I'm reading. This is when you know. I would have just pulled him to the side. Hey, we're gonna need to test you. Are you on anything? Because I would have done that. I would have insisted. I gotta know what you're on. I do, because I really do believe you believe what you're saying. All right, and it's so out of touch with reality. You got to be on something.
Talking after that. Imagine that. Declaring something as absurd as that in front of the United States Supreme Court. He once again said the most absurd thing that these members of the United States Supreme Court have ever heard.
What did he say?
And this time, his support team of Republican Supreme Court justices did not attempt to rescue him. 2 hours before the Supreme Court heard the case today, the stupidest president in history decided to tell the Supreme Court what to do on social media. Quote, "Big case today in the United States Supreme Court. Birthright citizenship was not meant for people taking vacations to become permanent citizens of the United States of America and bringing their families with them, all the time laughing at the suckers that we are, exclamation point."
Wow.
There was immigration to the United States when the Constitution was written.
Thank you.
There were massive waves of immigration to the United States when the 14th Amendment was written,
Here it goes.
which is the final constitutional pronouncement in writing on citizenship. And the 14th Amendment did not say all persons born in the United States, except the children of tourists or the children of immigrants. It said all persons born in the United States.
Thank you.
There were massive waves of immigrants coming to the United States before the 14th Amendment was written. A famine in Ireland sent what Donald Trump would have called the worst people to the United States. The millions
Thank you, Shay.
of starving Irish who fled to the United States in the 19th century were among the poorest people in the world.
Thank you.
And there were Americans like Donald Trump then who didn't want them here. There were Americans like Donald Trump who didn't think a single immigrant from Ireland should be allowed into this country, not one. And there was enough anti-immigrant feeling in this country to create strong
Get 'em, Lawrence.
anti-Irish sentiment among the people who were here before them. But it wasn't strong enough
Nope.
to infect the Constitution with Donald Trump's kind of thinking in 1866.
Did you hear that?
The authors of the 14th Amendment knew that there were people who would have loved the 14th Amendment to say all persons born in the United States, except to Irish parents, are citizens of the United States. That's what Donald Trump would have wanted.
Yeah.
If he could have gotten a word into the 14th Amendment in 1866, but the anti-immigration hatred that was loose in this country then was kept out of the room
Thank you.
when the 14th Amendment was written and when it was ratified by 2/3 majorities of the House and the Senate. And on Inauguration Day this year,
Yeah.
Donald Trump decided to hatefully rewrite the Constitution. Federal courts around the country have issued 40 injunctions against Donald Trump's executive order eliminating birthright citizenship in this country. Those courts are still considering the issue for a final judgment, while those injunctions prevent Donald Trump from denying citizenship to babies born in America tonight. And those injunctions hold throughout the country.
You hear this?
Donald Trump's Solicitor General went to the Supreme Court to ask them not to decide the actual case itself about birthright citizenship,
What did he do?
but just to decide that no individual federal judge should be allowed to issue an injunction that applies to the entire country. If Donald Trump succeeds with the Supreme Court, then those injunctions will only apply in the 22 states where they have been issued.
Wow.
And that would mean tomorrow, citizenship in America would depend on which state you are born
This
in.
is some sick stuff.
In Donald Trump's lying social media post today, he said,
Watch this.
birthright citizenship is about the babies of slaves.
What?
Really? Then why doesn't it say that?
You hear that? Y'all trying to say that the 14th Amendment is about the babies of slaves? Again, MAGA loves to go back in time on you. Now and then you ask her, where'd you get your interpretation from? Oh, let me make sure I get that again, because I'm going to address this.
The babies of slaves.
Wow.
Really? Then why doesn't it say that? The 14th Amendment could have said to all persons born to slaves in the United States are citizens of the United States.
Yeah.
They knew what slaves were when they were writing that amendment, but that's not what it says.
Get him, Lawrence.
The historically imbecilic social media post Donald Trump put out 2 hours before the Supreme Court hearing today said, in 1866, we didn't have people pouring into our country from all over South America and the rest of the world. Oh, yes, we did. And they were almost all white and all poor, and many of them starving.
Whoa.
Many of them sick. Many of them.
So Donald Trump lied to you Trump supporters. During the time the 14th Amendment was written, you had people immigrating into the country. And like he said, if it was simply applicable to only slaves, they were smart enough to have written it that way. So stop it. Don't hold another live on TikTok, MAGA, trying to argue this ridiculous point, because I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't show you're smart. It shows you're in a cult and you're not that intelligent. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think Lawrence O'Donnell did an excellent job cooking these MAGA demons and putting them out of business. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't got nothing else to argue with y'all about with this 14th Amendment. It's like I've been saying, where's the $5,000, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up this lake of fire once again. Because now every Trump supporter on TikTok that goes around and argues the 14th Amendment and then tries to use the angle it was written only for slaves, they have to acknowledge that if it was just that, then they could have simply written it that way. And you know they didn't do that because obviously there were people immigrating from all over the country still back then. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You know, it's a sad day in this country when I have to destroy every Trump supporter's TikTok in one show, but it's honestly my joy. W. Zeus. Just ask them, well, why didn't they write in there, this only applies to slaves, right? So, and then I gotta also address the black people out there who are hell-bent on trying to attack immigrants in this country because they think somehow the immigrants are interfering them getting money. I got some real bad news for you. Unfortunately, it's not the immigrants that are ruining your ability to get the bag. It's the fact that you continue to believe things that aren't true. Things like Donald Trump and Elon Musk are going to reward you $5,000 because of the waste, fraud, and abuse that they found in our government via Doge. Something's wrong up here. Things like, I was up. This is what that lady I did the video about. Her name's Sharita White, I believe, because, when Donald Trump was in office, we was up. When he was sitting in that chair. Now he's not in that chair. I'm down. And so that's the logic that gets y'all into a lot of these situations. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You got to think about it. All these billions and billions of dollars on the face of this earth. And you mean to tell me your only way of getting it is through Donald Trump? Something's wrong with your W. Zeus. He's even convincing a lot of y'all to get off of Medicaid. You need Medicaid. You get off of Social Security. You need it. He's convinced y'all don't need that. Just go ahead and send him your money, and supposedly your cup is going to run over. All right, let's go talk to the people in the chat. All right, any Trump supporters out there, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here. It won't take long to destroy these Trump supporters. All right, because all we do, you know what I love to do now, and it's the easiest thing to do. I just let them talk. I just love sometimes listening to these Trump supporters talk. Oh my God, it's really like music to my ears because we know 3 or 4 months down the road they won't be saying any of this. We know 3 or 4, like that lady, she's 100 days into the Trump administration and she's tapped out. I can't take anymore. I regret my vote. Oh, but you did 4 years under Joe Biden and you wasn't tapping out. Yeah. All right. Hi, Cassandra. I think we talked before, Cassandra. If you don't mind, come on back up here. Last time you came in the box, you had a phone call to take, right? I remember you, Cassandra. Please come on back up here and let's finish our conversation. And don't pretend like you got to go to your meeting right now, Cassandra. All right, let's go ahead and finish this discussion. All right, because obviously, you know what you're saying is a lie. All right, you regret doing what you did in that booth right now. That's why you're over here eating the kibble that we're offering on this platform. Because I keep it open for everybody. Because you know why I don't block people? Because when they go and meet God, the good Lord, and he's going to say, well, why did you ignore the truth? They won't be able to say, oh, we never heard the truth. I was in a cult. I was the victim. No, he's going to say, no, Cassandra, didn't you go and listen to what Zeus said? Yeah. And did you ignore what Zeus was saying? Because, I was giving him the truth to say to you. And you're going to say, well, and then you know what he's going to say? He's going to say, Cassandra, do me a huge favor. And you're going to go, oh, no, Lord, please don't. And he's going to say, bow the knee and say, Jesus is Lord, but you got to go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Satan.
Good morning. Who's J Kid? Come on up here, J Kid. You want to come up here and talk to Big Zeus? Go right ahead. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. We got Dame. He's came here to, I would imagine, apologize for misleading the congregation. Good morning, bro.
What up, young Zeus? Hey,
Yeah.
you
You're gonna drop the big. You just gonna go young. Okay, it's your world. But hey, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
You got that 5,000? You got that 5,000, bro?
No, we don't need the 5,000 on our side.
W Zeus. It's past 100 days, bro. You ain't got that 5,000.
Trust me. If it comes, I hope the Democrats get it first because y'all always begging. But look, let me ask you this. I just want to respond to your intro about blacks against the immigrants. I just need 10 quick seconds.
Yeah.
We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. And so what we have to do is create a comprehensive solution to the problem. Now, I have already stated that as president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, the employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. And when we do those things, I believe that we can take the undocumented workers, the illegal aliens who are here, get them out of the shadows, make sure that they are subject to a stiff penalty, make sure that they're learning English, make sure that they go to the back of the line so they're not getting an advantage over people who came here legally.
Okay, so President Obama can say the same sentiments, even use the same language, Zeus, like illegal aliens. He can say it and it's cool, right? And he said the same thing that Trump is saying. And you said, Blagger, we're worried about the immigrants. So how do you feel about Barack echoing those same sentiments?
Well, I think Barack was doing it in a better way, and he was addressing the humanitarian angle. I also recognize that, he did have a point, but he also made it a point to point out that you have employers that need to be held accountable too. So I feel like, Obama was at that point in time speaking on it from what was happening then, but we're in 2025, right?
Yeah.
So when you use Democrats' talking points to justify what Trump does, it means to me you support Democrat policies. Am I right?
We support common sense policies, and that's a common
If
sense
it's
policy.
Democrat, then you support Democrat policies.
If it's America first, yep.
No, just say I support Obama's policies.
I support President Obama deporting the people he deported. Absolutely.
Okay, so our argument is that people shouldn't be dealt with, according to the law because they came into the country illegally. Like, I don't think you're going to find anybody that's against that, or if they're a criminal and then they've been, found to have committed crimes, then they got to get deported. But everything isn't as black and white as that. Life is very, very complicated. And so what we're dealing with is a reality that I call it like a parasite always needs a host. These people come into the country for whatever the reasons are, right? And that's what the judges need to determine. And then you got people employing those people.
Right.
And this is business in a lot of different places. I don't know about where you're from, but maybe you've even done something to this to a degree. You may have done business with a business that does stuff like this. This is how you end up where you're getting grocery prices to a certain degree at an affordable price. Do you buy stuff on the under sometimes, bro?
On the under, do you mean? Of course, who doesn't?
There you go. All right. So you know what we're talking about. You got to save that money one way or another. Are you okay with them yanking a 19-year-old woman out of this country who's never ever lived in Mexico, for instance? She's been here since 4 years old. Are you okay with them just randomly, saying, hey, you violated, is a traffic stop? You know what? It wasn't you, it was someone else. But you know what? Since we found out you're not here legally, what we're going to do is put you in a detention center and send you to Mexico. Are you okay with that kind of stuff?
I'm not, but I trying to tell you, Zeus, under Obama, the people he deported, 76% of those people didn't get the due process that you guys are crying about.
That's called expedited removal.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the same thing
No,
President Trump
no,
is
no, no,
doing.
no, no, no. And I'm glad you brought that up. All right. And I'm not an expert at any of this, right? So
Me
take what
neither.
I say with a grain of salt. I understand that what Trump did was he did the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, right?
Yes.
Obama never did that. What? Obama never declared war on Mexico in order to justify doing these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when y'all start trying to bring elements of what Obama or any other person has done, I go, you're comparing apples to oranges, bro. You know, we had a health situation with COVID, the pandemic, right? And then, okay, you had the ability to do it then because we had a health problem. But right now, just to openly declare we have a war on a country, to use that to justify sending innocent women and children and men out of the country just because you want to try to say that they're a threat with no evidence, it's crazy. And then you're going to lie and accuse people of being in gangs that aren't in gangs.
So were the millions that Obama deported, were all them like a threat? You don't think none of those were like innocent nannies, innocent grandmothers that just didn't have the documentation?
They could have been, but I'm assuming if they went through the processes that Obama had in place, they minimized the risk of that happening. What we have right now going on, there's no minimizing at all. These people are being rounded up and sent to prisons, concentration camps. If you're going to deport somebody, you just send them to the country. What are you sending them to a prison for? What did they do? Why do they got to be in prison the rest of their life, bro? I mean, this is something that bothers me because as a person of color, it should be ingrained in your DNA that mistreating anybody because of their skin color is an issue. And you can't say it's not about skin color because we just found out about these South Africaneers that came into the country and I hear they're getting money, real money,
And you
to
know,
come in here, and
Zeus,
level up.
Zeus,
Huh?
100 of their applications got approved, Zeus. From what I read, 100 of those people are
Whose?
coming. 100.
The South
The
Africaneers?
Yes, sir.
What?
100 applications was approved out of 8,000. From what I read,
Okay, I'm not even going to get in. So you're okay with it, even if you say it's 100. You're okay with them given the green light to come here and turn up.
I'll take 100 over 11 million any day.
Okay, and they have done what for you? Nothing.
Cool.
The South Africaneers, immigrants do a lot in this country, bro. I don't know what planet you live on, but are you paying attention to who's helping to keep this well-oiled machine running? It ain't you. You're not out there. You on TikTok like me.
Yeah,
Who's
because I paid my dues to the hard jobs.
No, no,
already.
no,
I
no,
did
no.
the hard jobs. That's for
I
the
gotta stop you. No, no, no. You paid your dues. No, your ancestors, our ancestors did. They did that. Our ancestor did, bro. We benefited from the struggles of our ancestors. All right, so
why
we're in a
should-
bit
why
of a
should-
more
why should-
privileged
Why should the
situation.
illegals come in here
They're
and
not.
benefit off
Well,
our ancestors?
no,
as
no, no, no,
well,
no, no,
Zeus?
no. Because it's unfortunately this is in your country, and you should already know that this has never been your territory. But a lot of the people you think are here illegally, do a DNA test. You'll find out who was here first. How you going to take over? I mean, and you know how it was taken over. I mean, so you're going to take over a country. Obviously, there's people that inhabit the land already. So you're going to tell me all those people who are already here are all of a sudden illegal? I mean, from a legal standpoint, you got me. But from what I'm looking at, they're here. They've been here. How are you going to tell them that? It makes no sense for you to sit here and see all these immigrants contributing to this country. And this is what makes America America. We wouldn't be the greatest country on the planet, as far as I'm concerned, if we didn't have all these diverse groups of people here making this country, what it is. And if there are bad actors in here, you have my support. Okay, yeah, you got to go because you're here illegally. You're committing crime. Trump said he was only going to go after the bad ones. That's what he campaigned on. But I'm hearing story after story of the numbers are just so low. He says it's 20 million, but it's not true. It's really not 20 million. Maybe 11, maybe 12, right? But he's going after women and children that may, in some cases, even have cancer. Just from a good right versus wrong perspective, that's not right.
Nope, I don't want nobody with cancer to get deported.
But that's what's going on. Yeah, and let's go ahead and dive into this. Do you really believe they're holding you back? The immigrants are holding you back?
I agree with President Obama.
No. I'm asking you. Do you think the immigrants are stopping you from being honestly, successful?
God has put me in a certain place to where I don't have the actual problems that a person that needs.
So the answer is
on
no.
The labor force. No, they don't. They don't affect me, but they affect the people in my country, and I care.
No. You can't speak for everybody because some of us out here say they're helping us. So where did you get the moral authority to say they're harming all of us when I'm out here telling you I don't subscribe to that? I'm blessed as well. I'm blessed and highly favored as well, bro. But I don't have that same angle you got. So if you and I can both agree that the immigrants are holding us back, then what's all this mistreatment going on to these women and children? Why are we yanking kids and women around in this country and putting them in cages and stuff? If you're going to say Obama, then shouldn't Donald Trump be doing better than Obama, bro? Shouldn't the Republican Party, who complains about Democrats all the time, shouldn't y'all be doing a lot better? You can't show up to class with the same answers as the Democrats and then think we're going to give you flying colors.
Trump has had a lot of hiccups on his way in. I'm not going to
No, he signed up for that. Yeah, Trump. No one told Trump to run to be president. You run to be president. You willing to take on all of the heat that come with that. So I don't want to give him any wiggle room out of this. And he got the biggest mouth on the planet. He got energy to talk about everybody else not being able to come through. So why can't we do the same thing with him? I'm not giving Trump any wiggle room, bro. You promised me this. I want to see it. I want to see the $5,000. I want to see the golden age. But y'all ain't doing. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to get off on mistreating innocent people. It makes no sense, bro. At a certain point, you got to admit you've been manipulated.
If I ever feel like that, I'll be back to tell you in your chat. Yeah, I feel that way. But
do you feel like you've been manipulated at all? A little bit? Think about what I'm asking you, because you don't got the 5,000.
I feel like he's done some things that I didn't expect him to do. But any president that you vote for, you're gonna get that. But he did. He's doing some stuff I don't agree with.
Okay, and this is what I've been waiting for a lot of y'all to come to grips with. When you get to that place in a relationship, when you have to start saying, you know what, I'm starting to think maybe this isn't really what I signed up for. You know what that means. Do you think it's going to get better? You think he's going to change and all of a sudden come through and be like, all right, I was on something. I was tripping then, but I'm starting to get it together and I figured it out. You've seen this show already. You had 4 years of it. Prior administration, 4 years of it. And I'm going, whatever happened to just analyzing things from your own perspective? You go, why isn't Mike Pence jumping up and down to be with this guy anymore? Where's all those other people that was in the first administration? For some strange reason, they're not head over heels about this guy. That speaks volumes. That they're not Democrats. Because they figured it out. Mike Pence knows, yeah, you put your wagon on this guy, you're going for a nasty ride. One that might end up costing you your life.
He did some stuff that we don't agree with, but overall, President Trump has did some stuff that MAGA and just people in the middle don't agree with, but he's done a lot more good than bad, Zeus. A lot more good.
So, okay. So let me make sure I get this understood, because this is great. He has not given you the $5,000.
We don't need, like I said, we don't. The people that voted for Trump, we don't
Just a
want
yes
any.
or no.
We don't.
What
We
about
don't
your
want it.
eggs?
We don't want it.
What about the cheaper eggs? Has he gotten that done?
Yes,
No,
eggs
no.
are down nationally. Yes,
He said
yes.
he said they were 94% cheaper. Is that true? No. What about the gas? Is there gas that's $1.97 around here? No. He hasn't done that. The
Gas is
tariffs.
down. Gas is down nationally. Zeus. Come on, man.
The tariffs. I mean,
Deal with China.
you know
Deal
what
with
you're
China.
doing. Huh?
We just struck the deal with China.
Yeah, but
Like I
Walmart
said,
just
short-term-
Walmart just
short-term
came
tariffs.
out. Walmart just came out and said grocery prices they're gonna, or not just groceries, but their prices are going up. The economy is contracting.
Well, okay.
I'm listening to what you're saying, and you can tell me that he may have done some things that you like that are good. You know, the plastic straws and, you know, the getting rid of the penny stuff. You can say that, but I think the net reaction to what Donald Trump has been doing is a lot of people aren't really happy about it. He's firing federal employees that voted for him, right? Then we got to bring some of them back. We see this happening. And so what I'm trying to get you and a lot of people to wake up and realize is, I don't know what it's going to take for you to actually come out of this situation you're in. You wouldn't accept anybody else leading you on like this.
I know one thing, man. He campaigned on it. He doing it. He got 40 district judges putting injunctions up against everything he's trying to do. He has quadruple the amount of injunctions than any other president.
Is an injunction
and
illegal? No. He signed up to be president of the United
But when
States.
yeah, that's not illegal.
So he can't. No complaining. No complaining. I want to see wins. I want to see wins, bro. I don't want to get you in the game. Like, you know, you got Michael Jordan and stuff. You know who he is. What excuse do you go when you lose the game? Why are we making excuses for why we lost the game? We lost the game. Case closed, bro. You're losing the game. I don't want to hear Donald Trump you can't be making excuses for him because this guy is the king of calling people out. So when it comes around his way, I don't want to hear him making excuses. I want him to start actually delivering on the things that I just went through with you about. Yeah, the no tax on tips, the capping the credit card interest at 10%, you know, writing off car payments interest for your taxes. Yeah, I want to see all of that stuff. I don't want to hear about Greenland and Canada and Mexico. I don't want to hear about him getting a $400 million jet. I don't want to hear about incompetent Pete Cake's breath.
What about the homeless vets? You care about them?
They're people, of course.
All right, well, go check out the executive order that's about to give them sanctuary that he's taken from funds that was going to illegal aliens. I like that a lot.
Okay, so you still got hope. You still hoping that Donald Trump turns out to be a good person. I take it you haven't had enough. I didn't vote for his personal
character. I voted for America first, Christian first policies. Period. The Democratic parties, the Democratic Party, you know, you guys' policies align with the church.
I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident you would have deported Jesus. I'm pretty confident because Jesus didn't have a passport and he went all over the land. Y'all would have did Jesus and you'd have did him dirty. He didn't have his passport. He got to go. He's not from this, and you know it, and that's why he's laughing. W. Zeus. Dame, you cook yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. You all are going to cook yourselves because I went through and I did a lot of talking, but I know at the end of this discussion, you still don't got the $5,000.
Oh my God.
And that to me is symbolic for what Donald Trump is going to do for Blagga. You represent Blagga. And until I will listen, the moment you get that $5,000 back, I'll issue a public apology. If you get that $5,000, I will issue you a public apology because I'm Triple H. I'm humble. But you and I both know you'll never see it. You know that. And I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but you promised me $5,000. And I take your word. And then you don't deliver it, all bets is off. I can't do anything else with you because now I just think you're playing me like a fool. I can't be going over. I can't be going over to my wife and kids and stuff and saying, "Hey, baby, you know, they said they gonna give me the 5,000. It's coming." And then 2-3 weeks later, oh, it's coming. A month later, it's coming.
Hold on, Zeus,
it's not. It doesn't work like that in the real world.
Hold on,
Yes.
Zeus, let me ask you this. Okay, Trump promised you 5,000. The Democrats promised you reparations.
No.
The Democrats promised you reparations.
No.
So
See,
I rather the latter, if you ask me.
Okay, well, the difference, and again, I'm a quick thinking person. You tried to imply what happens with a group of people is the same as what happens with one person. Donald Trump, I'm talking about what he's talking about. At least with the Democrats, it's being discussed. So you take your chances with the person you know ain't giving it to you versus the people that you see trying to give it to you, Dame. Dame, wake up. Zeus. Dame, wake up, bro. The Democrats gave you all the stuff you got now. When you really sit down and go in a corner and think about it to yourself, turn off TikTok and get away from these MAGA demons, you start thinking, well, how did I get voting rights? And don't you start, don't bring that up. Don't bring up all that other stuff y'all like to do. Bottom line, you got it from the Democrats.
The Civil Rights Act, man, I just want to give facts before I go, because, you know, that's why they do come frequent with me, because they could get the facts. The Republicans there were more Republicans that voted for the Civil Rights Act that the Democrats tout you guys about. It was more Republicans.
I knew he was going to say this. I knew that. And so and so that's going to keep you in the Republican Party, right?
I'm not a Republican. I'm a Trump
what is you?
I support President Trump and his policies. I'm not no Republican.
Well, then why'd you bring that up?
Because you guys like to throw that the Democrats.
You're not a Republican, but
when you read it, that's just
so you're not a Democrat. You're not a Republican. You're just a Trump.
I support President Trump. Yes, I support Trump. Yes.
I gotta give it to you. You're the first brother that came up here with his whole chest and admitted he was in a cult like that. I gotta give it to you. W to the Dame. I gotta give it to you. Now, so like I said, you're in the cult, bro. I don't think there's anything I can say to you to get you out of it, but I'm gonna just hold your feet to the fire, and I'm gonna encourage the chat. This is Dame. Please make sure you follow him. We're gonna get to judgment, but please follow him, and just whenever he goes live, go into his chat and ask him, Dame, do you got the $5,000?
Why because you gonna send these people to spam
because this is all we need to do to make sure you understand that you're not flying high around here. You don't got the $5,000, brother. No matter all this, and you're a Trump supporter. He promised you that, but you don't got it.
And when that 5,000 come, I'm gonna come and send all my people to this chat, and we're gonna be like, we got
all 20. Don't worry, we'll get to them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. It's time for judgment, bro. All right, you did your best, and actually, I see all the Doge money that you just got. Oh my gosh, look at this! All these people sending you money on this. Come on, all you folks who support Dame, go into your bank accounts and reach in that, get the Doge money that Trump sent to you, and send it to Dame because he worked really hard. All right, and I gotta treat him like he's royalty around here. I want to see him. Go ahead, yeah. Look at all that Doge money.
Malaysia is actually a Democrat. That's how fair I am. Thank you. Malaysia.
No, stop it. Stop it.
Extreme leftist. Yes, she is. Thank you, Malaysia.
Malaysia, are you are you an extreme leftist? Because we can get. Yes. I can promise you that we'll get to the bottom. Malaysia, are you an extreme leftist? Because let's get to Malaysia. Where did you go? Because
Malaysia. We can't. Malaysia, come up here, Malaysia. Tell her you an extreme leftist.
Because I got some questions for you, for you, Malaysia. Okay.
There she goes.
I've never met Malaysia before, but hi, Malaysia. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. So Dame says you're an extreme leftist, and you're actually supporting him too with the Doge money you got.
I wouldn't say extreme leftist, but I'm not for Trump.
So you are an extreme leftist, or no?
I'm not an extreme leftist. No.
So Dame lied.
But I'm not for Trump, though. I voted.
But why? So Dame is lying.
No,
Malaysia, you're an extreme lefty. You got TDS. Come on, it's okay.
I wouldn't say extreme, but I voted for Ms. Harris, and I voted for her policies. And I always say that the people that voted for Trump, they voted for judgment and not policies.
Okay. So you have a good heart, and I'm assuming that's why you were allocating the coins to Dame, right? Because you have a good heart, and you're trying.
Dame has a good heart too, but he's just in a cult at the moment.
So Dame, that's two of us that agree you're in a cult.
I think all MAGA and blaggers in a cult. That's how I feel.
And so, Dame, what do you have to say to your friend Melissa? If she's really your friend, bro, you got to stop. And this is an intervention moment. It's an intervention moment. You got to stop. Huh?
Not an intervention. I'm crying.
Why are you crying?
Because Dame is just in a time and a period where I believe that he's a leftist as well. Undercover leftist.
Oh, so Dame is up
What
here.
up, Chris, man? Bring Chris up. Chris,
Dame.
Oh, Zeus, can you bring Chris up? Chris, listen, I'm America First policy guy.
No,
okay?
Dame,
and the Democrats.
No, stop it,
just,
Dame. I've heard enough. We've heard enough from you. We see you're in crisis mode. You're totally conflicted, and you got Malaysia up here crying, and you want to party right now. And no, sir, we need you to knock this off.
But me and Dame are TikTok friends, and I believe that one day he's going to realize it and see that Trump is not for no one but himself, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah. And how long have you been trying to do this work by yourself? Because this has to have been a burden this is a cross you've been struggling to carry.
I mean, I'm not alone with it. We go on this live and we talks about things. Aside from politics, Dame's a good guy.
So Dame just needs to stay out of politics right now and stick to doing whatever he does on this app, because he is been exposed by you. And I take your word. How many people in the chat think Dame is in a cult? How many of y'all think he's in a cult? Because we can do this. We can cast this demon out this morning. This is. Oh, look at all this. Dame. Okay, Dame. Okay,
I'm sorry,
Dame.
y'all think that, man.
No, Dame, really you getting some attention this morning, Dame. You getting some attention.
Dame's that guy.
Okay.
W Dame in the chat.
Yeah. Well, no. You can't do W Dame. No. You do L Dame. L Dame.
This is the thing, Zeus. This is why, and you've seen people come to my chat and say, "Dame, after listening to you, I hated you at first." Like Hov said, they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Y'all just in the hate me phase right now. But when President Trump comes through and makes this country better, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about.
No.
Hey, Zeus. Zeus, how are you this morning, sir?
I'm all right.
Man,
I'm all right.
Guy here is toxic, Zeus. Why you? Jesus.
Hey, very quickly, Dame said something that I got my Eddie Murphy.
Dame, this is crazy work we're doing. But we're gonna get this demon out of Dame this morning.
Dave said something that I just want to call BS on. He claimed that there are more votes from the Republican Party than Democrats for the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Dang, the vote breakdown was 73-27, bruh. You know, there are 100 people in the Senate.
That's not true. That's fake. Hold on. Give me a second.
Right, Zeus, okay, man, have a big screen. I'm going to pull an attacking.
So, Dame, we've caught you in so many lies already.
Ouch. So, what this is right here, and you can go to archives.gov. This is the actual Senate vote based on the senator right here. See, right here. June 19th, 1964. Right here. This is the Senate breakdown. Let me scroll on down. This is the Senate breakdown. Let me scroll to the bottom here. This is the actual vote. 73-27 in favor. In favor. How is that a lie, Dame? I went to archives.
Bro, Zeus, just let me know when I can speak, Zeus, because I'm literally looking at the House of Representatives, and it say 138 in favor, 34 opposed, which is 80% from the Republicans, 152 in favor.
You know what's interesting, Dame?
Bro, when you add up the House of Representatives, the Senate, more Republicans voted. Stop.
Dame, there are 435 members.
Oh my God.
Of the House of Representatives, Dame. There's 100 senators, Dame. That's 535 legislators, Dame. Simple math. And did I not?
Republican members supported the Civil Rights Act in higher percentages, sir. The legislation was still passed due to bipartisan cooperation and strong leadership from both parties. But more
That is not what you said, Dame.
Oh my God.
Dame,
They did vote in high, bro. I said
Dame,
they voted in higher percentages, and I said that
you're not
because
a
the
Republican.
I'm not, but I'm just saying I
Then what
don't
are we
care about
arguing?
I don't care about no
Yeah,
Republican. But
yeah.
listen. I'm telling you, the Democrats like to throw that around as if it was 100% those guys for ignorant people that's not going to go read and actually see what it was. That's all I'm saying. This
But
dude trying to act
but
like he
Dame,
got a gotcha moment.
Dame,
Like,
Dame.
It
Here's
is a
the
gotcha
thing.
moment.
You're a known liar this morning. Everything we've talked about, you've admitted you were lying. So I'm gonna have
that's
to
all the
side with.
Democrats do is lie. Zeus.
You're not a Democrat. So W Nutty, Dame, Dame, you got cooked. You got cooked. Your credibility is in the toilet. Thank you, Nutty, for exposing
This
Dame
man brought up
once
some
again.
stuff that was written in handwriting. Get out of
He,
here.
oh
So what is
please,
That was the actual vote.
we
That was
saw
the
it,
actual
Dame.
vote from the National Archives. I don't know what else to tell you when I bring proof from the National Archives. It's not something that I made up, Dame.
Hey, Dane.
Come on, Dame. This is intervention. Hi, Val. How are you doing?
Yeah, Dane, we didn't have computer voting in 1964.
There you go, W Val. So
everything you go read is going to be handwritten.
You putting me to man. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Come on, man. This is a high vibrational conversation. Come on, man. What's next, Zeus? What they got
Hey,
next? What's
Val,
up, Zeus?
may I also interject that the final vote in the House of Representatives was 294 for passage and 130 against. With the majority, when I say the majority, I'm talking like 128 of the dissenting were Republicans.
So
But see,
Dame.
Okay, well, let me
Dame,
ask you guys this: so how many Republicans did vote
No,
for the
Dame,
Civil Rights Act?
I'm
No. Let's
speaking
break it down. Hold up.
specifically on what
Okay,
you said.
Antifa, I give you your argument, sir. Now let's break it down. So, how many Republicans
Why?
total voted
Why?
yes
For
for the
what?
Civil Rights Act?
What is the reason behind that, Dan?
Because you
Dame.
guys like to throw it around and
Okay, so
mislead people
so
as if it
here's
was
the thing.
purely Democrats.
Okay,
I
so
just told you why.
at the time of that vote, there was a party switch going on, was it not?
Oh, now you're gonna throw. See, and this is why nobody
Okay,
vote for y'all, bro. Y'all never
wait,
can
no,
have
no,
a
no, 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 no. Why
conversation. Y'all
are you
always
cutting?
got a turn,
Okay,
bro.
so
Dame,
here's
you're
the
doing
thing,
it.
Dame.
All right,
Okay,
let me
so
chill out. You're right. See, I could be calm with you, Zeus, but these extreme lefties, bro, they drive
What
me.
is not going to happen is
God.
we can't arrive at any kind of context of any kind of information
Thank
while
you,
you're
Doc.
talking, while I'm talking. It's not helpful to the situation.
And these people are here, Dame, because this is called an intervention. You know what that means? Your
Yeah,
friend,
go ahead.
your friend, Malaysia came up here, and we stopped her from supporting things that you were saying and doing, and now we're trying to help her get you back in compliance with what you should be. So please, Dr.
Oh,
Lex.
okay, so where'd he go?
Oh, he's teacupping, but I'm pretty sure he can
Here,
hear
I'm
you.
here.
He
Okay,
should have
okay,
multiple
so
devices, but he only has one, I suppose.
I'm
okay,
here.
so the Dame, let
I'm
me
on my
ask
other
you.
one too.
Okay, so
Oh,
Dame, I'm going to ask you one more time. What exactly is your argument about what Nutty showed you?
I'm not trying to deny nothing that he said. What I'm saying is, I asked him for the number of Republicans that did vote, because for ignorant people, they just go to Democratic Lives and see it was all Democrats that gave
Okay,
you all
now
your rights.
who on this
So
panel is ignorant, Dame?
I didn't say anybody here. I said for the ignorant
Okay,
people that's not going to
so
read.
okay,
We
so
all
what is
know that the.
happening,
Go ahead.
James? What is happening with you is called the amygdala response. You're being reactive to what we're saying, even though we're providing you with positive and factual information. You refuse to believe it.
yeah.
That means that you're in a cult, because if somebody that we especially Democrats and people that are liberal or even independents, we hold people accountable, which you do not. And
After
for
I
you to be
can I correct myself, Zeus?
After
hold on.
he's
Can I
done talking, y'all
hold
should.
on?
Come on now,
Go ahead.
We're
Go ahead.
having a serious
No,
discussion to
no, I'm
get
sorry. I
you.
wanted to correct myself. They was
But
right on something, but go ahead.
Okay, so for you to be arguing on the side of a group of people that are bringing the most racist group of people in the world into our country and giving them things that's I don't know what to say to you.
we're
The
concerned.
South, those indigenous, those South Africans are not indigenous. They're descendants of the Dutch. They have segregated themselves off into their own society. 7% of them own 85 to 90% of the property down there because they use ethnic cleansing to get it from the African people. But yet you let them come over here, and you're still on the side of that. You being a black man, when one of those people, if they saw you, they would literally spit in your face. These are terrible people that Trump is bringing over here freely.
Can I respond, Zeus?
Mm-hmm.
All
That's
right.
what this is.
Let me correct myself.
To me,
correct
Dame,
myself.
and this is a serious discussion. All right, so it's good that you're responding because it shows that you're engaging. So I don't have a problem. But I just don't like when people are all talking at once because then I just can't keep up. And I got to do the judging. But please.
In terms of raw numbers, 19 more Democrats voted, okay, for the Civil Rights Act, but percentage-wise, it was supported more by the Republican Party.
What year was that?
1964.
Okay, so what happened in the Southern Strategy, Strom Thurmond, and the party switch?
That's not my
There was a
argument,
party.
sir. Why do we always have to pivot?
There was a party switch going on right
Zeus,
there,
you got to check him too, Zeus.
Okay, so we're done. Are we done going back in time? Because I believe this all started, Dame, because you went back in time, and this is why I encourage everyone to, stick to what's happening in 2025 when you're making your point. Because you go back here and you start reaching and grabbing, it's going to get real ugly and messy. So you've conceded that, Nutty and Dr. Lex are right. All right. And you had your point. Maybe the percentage was higher with the Republicans, but the numbers
No,
show.
he's not right. Sorry to interrupt you, Zeus. He's not right. Because in the House vote, it was the Democratic Party 39%, Republican Party 20%. 39 is always going to be higher than 20. Even in 1964, 39 is higher than 20. Sorry to interrupt you.
But there were more Democrats. I heard 19 more Democrats sided with the Civil Rights Act over the Republican Party, right?
Okay, so
the breakdown.
Let's get this understood. Let's get it understood.
Hey, Nutty, really quickly, let's separate this up into conservatives and liberals. How's that sound? Instead of using Republicans and Democrats.
That's even better because Dr. Lex brought a beautiful point at this time in our nation.
Hi, Shay. Hi, Takesha. I'm so sorry I didn't say hello to you.
Everybody.
In this time in our nation's history, we had a party switch going on. That is not hyperbole, Dane. It is history. It's what really, truly happened. We had Dixiecrats who were known as being racist. Dame, am I telling the truth? You do know this, right, Dame?
Yeah, go ahead.
We had Dixiecrats. Then we had quote-unquote liberals. So what did the Dixiecrats do? They got pissed off because of the civil rights movement. They got pissed off because they wanted black folks to have the same rights as white folks. They got pissed off. So what did they do, Dame?
They became Republicans.
Went to the Republican Party.
Do you agree with that, Dame?
That was the case with a few certain congressmen, yes.
Oh, it was a lot of them.
Let me just get effects. I got the final vote passes on HR 7152. The Democratic Party had 152 yes votes. Republicans had 138 yes votes. The Democrats had 96 voted no. Republicans had 34 that voted no.
What year is this?
I just told you, bro. You could just HR 7152.
Okay, so
but I thought we were done with that. That's my point.
No. I was just giving the percentage.
I'm pointing to it. I have it on the screen.
But Dame, let's separate that up into.
Okay, well, go ahead. I just wanted to get effects that I wasn't.
Okay,
let's
Dame, let's separate that up into conservative and liberal, not Republican and Democrat, and see what happens.
Okay.
I don't know. You know something, Zeus? You know it's my birthday today. I don't even know I'm arguing with Dame. Dame's lost cause.
Dr. Lex, it's his birthday today, and we're gonna sing happy birthday to you. All right, because we appreciate all the work you put in as well. You're part of the family, and you don't say nasty things like Nutty does when Nutty talks about my handsomeness. So that's a good thing. All right. But you know what? We can go down this.
Zeus, no, Zeus, really?
I couldn't help myself.
I think the fact that you've been in this fight for so long against these MAGA demons, I think it's starting to rot your brain a little bit.
I could warm it up, Nutty, if you need any, but you might want to leave it there. All right, but listen, we can't go too far. We can't go too far back in the past.
I'm going to stay out of this argument because I'll start posting shirtless pictures on you guys.
And Lex, you're free to do that. But if a tree falls in the forest, Lex, and nobody sees it or hears it, does it fall? Does it make a sound? It doesn't matter, right? W Zeus. Now let's move it along because we have Listen,
Let
we
me say
have
something about that.
Takesha, we have Shay, we have Val and attacking. I want them to chime in. We're done. We've already nuked you, Dame. You could keep going back in time. But they've heard. We've connected so many dots this morning, and I'm curious about what each of these people have to say to Dame because we're trying to get you out of this cult this morning. It's serious work that needs to be done. How about we start with ladies first? Takesha and Shay.
Go, Takesha.
Good morning, Zeus. I had two things
Go ahead.
that Dane said that kind of
Uh-oh.
made my butt want some ice water. The first thing was when he said about the homeless veterans. But I'm trying to figure out if they had money to give these people that came as so-called refugees, that money could have went to the homeless. There didn't have to be an executive order to help veterans when they got the money. If they had it readily available for the refugees, they could have went and grabbed up the homeless people and given it to them and gotten them off the streets. I'm gonna say that about that.
There you
And
go.
then you said something about China, about Trump
Lord
made a
have
deal
mercy.
with China. There was no deal made with China. There was a pause on tariffs. It's right back to
Oh,
the percentage that Joe Biden had it at. Ain't no manufacturing
Joe
came back.
Biden.
There was
Fake
no
news.
deal. There was
I
a
think
Dame,
pause.
Ma'am.
she's talking. She's talking, Dame. It's hard for the
There was
demon
a
to.
pause. No,
but I think the tariff that Trump tariff plan would have been a good plan if we had people that was actually going to work those jobs in America because it would have made America.
It's
I don't want
gonna
to say.
be
I don't
too
want to say.
expensive to do all the things they want to do over here.
But I
So it's
think. I
really
think.
gonna cost us more money. But what I'm saying is Dame said a deal was made and there was no deal. They went over there, they got in the King Tut position, which means they got on their knees. They begged China to talk to them because China wasn't talking to them at all.
Right.
There is no deal. We right back to where we was before the terrorist war started.
Thank
So there
you.
is no deal. There's a pause.
Thank you, W to Keisha. W to Keisha.
Short-term tariffs.
Annihilation season.
Takesha, respectfully, short-term tariffs is the goal. Nobody wants long-term
Dang,
tariffs.
Blanket
No,
dang,
tariffs never work.
ma'am, let me respond.
dang.
Short-term tariffs. He told you on every city in America that I'm going to use this as a negotiation tactic. Long-term tariffs are terrible. Nobody's denying that, but short-term tariffs work. It gives you time to negotiate, and that's
First
what
of
he's
all,
doing.
he
If
didn't
that's the
tell.
case, hold on, ma'am. Can you tell me why China's putting tariffs on or threatening tariffs on anybody else that do business with America outside of
Okay,
them
so
if tariffs
Dame,
are
can
so
you tell
bad?
me why our
Here he
GDP is
go.
currently
Here he go,
negative?
bro. Let me go. Go ahead. I don't.
Can you tell us
Dang.
why our
I can't
GDP?
have a debate with
Hold
you,
on.
Mr. Lex. It's your
Dame.
birthday, so I'ma just chill. But
But
honestly, you cut me off, and you don't give me the
yeah.
respect I give you. That
Okay, how about this? How about this? Well, because it
respect.
started
Dang.
between you and Takesha. Takesha said what she said. Takesha should be responding. Then you can respond, and then let others who may want to add in something respond because we know what's going on here. Yes, Takesha.
Dang.
Yes, ma'am.
Did Trump say he was going to use it as a negotiating tool, or did y'all say he said he was going to use it as a negotiating tool?
Trump said he's going to
I didn't
use
hear
that as
anything
a
about
negotiation.
negotiating come out of Trump's mouth. That's the explanation y'all give when we talk about why he's doing it.
Do you
Pull up
have
me
it?
something
Yeah. Do
where
you
he
have him
said,
saying that Dame anywhere?
give it to me when he
Give me a
said he's
second. Let me get my other
negotiating.
device.
Okay.
Let me get that.
All right.
All right.
All right. And while that's queuing up, thank you, Takesha. Dr. Lex, you said you were going to say something. Yes, it is your birthday, so he's going to go
Okay.
light on you.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, our GDP went negative. Okay, blanket tariffs have never worked. You can look at Smoot-Hawley, the Smoot-Hawley Act. He's getting defeated left and right by these countries because they simply just started trading with each other. They don't need us. China doesn't need us. Or their infrastructure is far superior to ours because they took their money that resulted from some of these trade deals from the 70s and 80s and they put it back into their people whenever the United States took the money and put it into their individual pockets. It didn't help the infrastructure, manufacturing, or the people. China has 700 million middle class people. We only have 350 some odd thousand people in the country. They are defeating us left and right. Their cars are better. The high speed rail systems, their educational systems are beating us left and right. Dame. So they don't need. They've been around for about 5,000 years longer than we have in organized civilization.
Yeah.
And yet here we are trying to pick a fight with us. The country that's been around since 1770, 1789, when the Constitution was ratified, or whenever that was, the Declaration of Independence. I can't remember which one it is.
And we're that engine, and we're one of the main engines that helped them in their journey that they're on right now. And that's why
But
their economy was crumbling by the day with these tariffs. Manufacturers closing down by the day out there. Their citizens are pissed off with them over the tariffs, over the
no,
jobs,
they're not.
over the job. Yeah, they were.
That's
Come
not
on, man.
true, Dane.
So
That's not
what is the
true.
stock? All right. So tell me, what is the stock market like in China right now? Because this is the type of stuff we look up.
Okay, so everything's going fine. You know, I talk to Chinese people pretty much about 3 or 4 times a week.
Can you
Everything's
guys
going
answer my
great over
question?
there.
Or what is the stock market like in China right now?
Dame, I literally talk to Chinese people about 3 or 4 times a week doing business. Everything's going fine over there. They don't need us.
Okay.
They don't.
Everything's going fine in China. Wow.
Yeah,
Dane, let me say this, then I'm gonna let Shay talk. That's just like saying my ex-husband helped me start my business. Just because he helped me start it and I furthered it. What I need him for if I've already got the tool? If he gave me the tool to start it and I took off with it, why do I need him when I've got the tool
Because
and I've
your
already
husband
took off with it myself? China does not need
because your
America.
husband was the middleman that gave you those
China
customers.
he wasn't the middleman.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. And once he take his customers, you done. You don't have a base no more. You don't have a base once your husband. Once your husband take his customers, you have no base, man.
Dane, you're not getting it.
Takesha, you're not getting it. I'm trying to tell you.
You're not getting it.
Okay. Lord have mercy. You're interrupting her. You got to let her say what she's saying, Dame, and then we're going to move it on to Shay, and we got attacking and Val.
The saying is not how you start, it's how you finish.
Amen. Amen. W Takesha in the chat. Thank you. Hi, Shay. There's so much territory to cover. I don't know where you want to get in.
How's everybody?
We're doing all right.
Hey. Yeah, there's so much, but how are you guys wrapping your head around him making deals with a former member of Al Qaeda? You know, the new president of Syria that he wants to lift all the sanctions on. Literally, the Al Qaeda was responsible for 9/11. He's a known terrorist. He's been on a known terrorist watch, right?
Yep.
So you guys have been talking about the T groups, saying illegal aliens are now T groups because they may or may not be in a gang, right?
Yep.
So supposedly we're against T groups, which I think all fundamentally we would say we all agree to that, correct? Supposedly when we sit there and say free Palestine, supposedly your rhetoric is we support T groups, right? That we're supporting the H group, right? All this rhetoric throughout the election, Dame, constantly, over and over and over. But yet, Trump goes in and shakes hands with known T groups. For what? For what?
Miss Shay, I feel the same way about. I honestly, I don't agree with that, and I feel the same way I feel about the Biden administration making Iran richer than ever, giving them the ability to build boom booms that can unalive us all. I feel the same way about that.
Well, where's the outrage? I just want to know where the outrage is going to come from, because you guys were outraged against the H group. You believe that it's okay for the EO to label, label all people that come across the border as a T group, and so they can be just rounded up and sent to prison just because they may or may not have come in the right way, right? Whatever that means, quote unquote. Like, I just want to know. This is where we get so frustrated, because the left over here will scream and cry if somebody betrays us. Like, we're like,
Can I say something real quick? Zeus, can you give me the big screen? Because this is
how this guy here is infatuated with talking.
This is how I feel about. This is a picture I took when I was on my way to do the disaster relief at 9/11.
Wow.
I was on my way to Jacob Javits into this horrible fire. And then Trump goes and does a deal with the very people that made this happen. That was where the Trade Center was standing, right there, where you see that smoke coming up. I can show you more pictures of.
But we see
I can
it.
show you.
Yeah.
I can show you a lot of pictures of what I saw.
Yeah,
so
we see it.
Back on top.
Thank you. Biden caught so much flack shaking hands with MBS because of Jamal Khashoggi, right, and his unaliving, right, ordered by MBS, Mohammed bin Salman. So we're over here blasting on Biden for possibly shaking that, or he did shake hands with him, right? So that's what we're saying is where is y'all's outrage?
He has.
I don't understand. Damon, that's our biggest frustration. We understand you may vote for this and that, but when are you going to hold the people you vote for accountable? Like this is ridiculous. And he talked about being wooed. We don't need anybody to be wooed. What the hell?
Thank you. It's corruption in front of the American people's face.
How's that a strong leader, Dame? I'll end with this, my friend. How is him being wooed showing that he's a strong leader of the United States?
Him being wooed. Can you elaborate on that, ma'am?
Well, he says this is what it was played in the beginning. Zeus
Beautiful the man was.
So being wooed is being given gifts, elaborate dinners, handshakes, bowed down, saluted to.
That's why you guys need to read Jesus Christ. Long as it's public, ma'am, a gift can be given to the American. As long as it's given to the U.S. government, that is going in Trump's library.
What
every president,
Takesha, spend $1 billion
hold
in
on, 1 second. Every president has left items in their library. President Trump says this is going in the Trump's library. It is not a gift to him.
He's going to
put a gift to America.
$1 billion plane in the library.
What that got to do with being wooed?
That we paid for?
Oh my God.
Sir,
you know what's funny?
Where do you find these extreme leftists?
Hold on, let Val talk for a minute.
Far from an extreme leftist.
You are correct.
Yeah, we gotta get Val and attacking in, and then
Go ahead, Val.
Yeah. I mean, first off, the Emoluments Clause actually covers this.
Yeah, dang.
And it has to go through Congress. First off, so any other BS you want to attach to that is BS. Period. And they've also stated that it was to be for the Department of Defense. Okay? That part. Okay? That has to go through Congress. It's the Emoluments Clause.
Yeah.
It's Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 9.
You got that on you, Dame? Look it up. Because Val's giving you information instead of you playing in the audience. Go ahead, Val.
We tried to cover this when he took all the presidential records. The Presidential Records Act outlines the amount of money that they're able to get, and then we have the Emoluments Clause in the actual Constitution.
Can I ask you guys something? So every president that has received a gift like that went through Congress. We want to go down that rabbit hole?
Ain't nobody gotten a gift like that.
Nobody's.
I'm asking. Mr. Lex always want to call me out.
The only other gift like that,
Mr. Lex.
The only other real gift like that we've received in our
We're answering your question first, Dave.
I couldn't even hear him. My bad.
Yeah, the only other gift that we've received like that in our nation's history is referred to as the Statue of Liberty in New York.
Yeah.
And it's the statue. And
don't do it, Dave.
And who owns the Statue of Liberty?
Oh gosh,
The American people.
I mean, at this point in time, France wants it back.
Yeah, France wants it back, but the American people own it, Dang.
Jeez, Dang,
exactly, and the American people will own that plane. The next president.
The American people will not own the plane, Dame. If it's going into the Trump library, how is the American people owning it?
Exactly.
Well, it's not a gift to him. It's not a gift to him, bro.
If it's going into his library, Dame, you're special. You're a few.
Okay, so answer the question. Every gift that a president has received has it went through Congress. That's all I'm asking.
We're not talking about every gift.
Dame,
you guys are making a big deal about this gift
to him.
Dame, do you think emoluments is a lotion?
That mean,
well, that's a good question. I mean, it's these are the things. But I came up mainly because Dane had said something earlier without understanding the expectations. Dane decided to bring up Obama like most do, and and like we talk about the deporter in chief and all that stuff. Dane, there was a big difference between what Obama did and what Trump is doing, and this was the first one. Obama actually targeted people that weren't showing up to their court dates, that didn't check in with the border, that did have legal stuff against them. The bulk of the people that Obama deported could actually be considered a criminal. He didn't deport people that were showing up to their court dates, that were doing the process. That he did not do, sir.
Bingo, W Val in the chat. So Dame, we caught you, and Val's good at listening and catching the lies. And you thought you got away with that one, Dame. So that's like the sixth lie. That's the sixth lie.
It's supposed to cost over $1 billion. This is supposed a free gift, right? But it's going to cost close to $1 billion to retrofit that for the president of the United States. That means they have to strip out the entire thing to make sure there's no bugs in it, right? And then set it all up. It's going to cost the taxpayers $1 billion. So really, it's not a gift.
Say that. I'm sorry.
And then he gets to keep it.
Let me just tell y'all something right quick.
It's actually
look. Let me just tell y'all something right quick.
And then I want to talk to attacking before you come up. I want you to know we're going to talk about the billions of dollars that they're saying Joe Biden helped give Iran. If you can attacking, I want to make sure we can clear that. Maybe you or Val, but go ahead, Dame.
This is why you guys have 3-4 years before the next election, and you spend your time complaining about how bad the Republicans are. You should be telling the people how good the Democrats are and what you can offer people. This is why y'all lose, because this entire time y'all have not given me one thing why I should vote for Democrats.
Okay. All right. And we're gonna give you that. But I want to make sure we cover all these lies.
Hold on. Let me ask you a chat something. Are all you guys Christians?
Don't even bring it.
I am.
So how could you vote for the party that, hold on. How could you vote? Look, he muted real quick. I rebuke you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You can't rebuke nobody, Dame.
Let me ask y'all one thing. How could you vote for a party that policies directly align with the Church of Satan? And I can prove it right now.
Oh my God, you really are.
Let me ask you a question.
Am I lying?
You want to go
Very
down?
Christian of you,
Dame,
Dame.
can I ask you a
Okay,
question?
I'm just asking. All right.
Can I ask you a question?
He shouldn't.
What does the Bible say about immigrants?
What does the Bible say about a lot of stuff?
What does the Bible say about immigrants?
The Bible says follow the rules of the land.
No, that's not what it says.
The rules of the land say you come legally.
That's not what it says about immigrants.
It's not the Bible.
That's the Jesus.
Not what it
That's
says about
Dame.
immigrants.
Dame, I don't want to have to strike you down because
That's
I
not
can't
what
do
it says
that.
about immigrants.
I don't want none of that evil you got.
Shut up,
Takesha.
Shut up, Dame. That's not what it said. I asked you what it said about immigrants specifically.
It says follow the laws of the land, ma'am, and the laws of the land.
That's not what it says about immigrants.
Dame.
I said, what does the Bible say about immigrants specifically?
We need Bible chapter and verse, Dame. Bible chapter and verse. That's all. Give it to me. I'll look it up for you to help you out of this.
Love all immigrants. That's God's children, and I agree with that.
That's not what it said.
What it
That's
said?
not what it
Dame
said.
is in the math class making up stuff.
It says to welcome the immigrants, to take care of the immigrants. It didn't say the ones who came legally or illegally. It says to welcome them. That's what it said.
What's it say?
Now I have a problem with listen. Let me explain something.
So tell me what the Bible say. That you can buy. Okay, go ahead.
We're trying to let Takesha wrap it up.
Ask the question. What's the question?
I'll just say
what's the question?
You can't pick and choose and take that and then just say, okay, everybody could come in legally in this Christian life.
You picking and choosing? You picking and choosing?
No, you can't do that.
So Dame, you don't have any.
You picking what you want at the Bible. You cherry picking what you believe in at the Bible, and you trying to leave other stuff out. You can't do that. You shouldn't have said who was a Christian because you barked up the wrong tree with that one.
Thank you. Don't do that, Dame. Don't do that.
What you can't tell me.
Let me ask you, Takesha. What does the Bible say about children?
No, but Dame. Okay, hold on. Time out. We're gonna time this out. I cannot allow people who have not been anointed by the good Lord. They gotta be filled with the Holy Ghost, I believe. And I know Dame ain't filled with the Holy Ghost because he's been up here lying. So I cannot, in the interest of the community, allow Dame to be up here swerving through the scriptures. And it's pretty much like a DUI what he's doing. Dame,
Zeus, let me say this right quick, and then I'm gonna leave it alone.
Because Dame, you are not qualified. I just want to stop you.
I don't argue the scripture. The Bible says if they don't accept it, you kick the dust off your feet and keep on going.
That's what I
But
do
what I'm
too.
gonna say is this.
Dame, the demon.
Let me
Tell the
say
demon
this.
to relax, Dame.
Let me say this. I don't know at what point people think the Republican Party is anything like Christ when they don't want to feed poor children, when they want everybody to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Christ, when he fed the 5,000, he didn't go through the crowd saying, are you a citizen of the United States of America? He didn't go around healing people that just believe what he believed. He said for us to love everyone. He gonna separate the wheat from the tare. Because if we do it, we'll be pulling up the wheat and leaving the tare. So my thing is this. I'm not going to sit around and judge anybody because I don't know people's story. Amen. I don't know people's life. I don't know people's heart. And that's what Christ instructed us to do. Love, not
And he
try
also
to
told us
them.
to judge righteously. Don't
Sir,
watch our brother
you're not
sin.
judging.
Don't
No,
watch our brother
Dave,
sin.
You're
So
not
I'm not
judging
allowed to
righteously
watch
Dame.
until
this man was
you get the most.
Dame, how did he handle the
Until
adults
you
in
Going to
get the
hell.
mote
Send me
out
that
of
Zeus
your
card.
eye. Until
You see
you
the
get the
demon.
mote out of your eye.
The demon's
you need to
begging.
hush.
WW Takesha. The demon's already begging for me to send him to hell. And don't worry, but we're almost there. Yes.
Judge
I'm going
righteously,
to give him
y'all.
the verse that sends him.
Don't let
Okay?
the don't
Wait. Hold
I'm
on.
going to give him
Well,
the
the
verse that
adulterous
sends him.
woman.
Hold
What did
on.
he say with that?
First off, Dane.
I'm a sinner.
Matthew.
We all sinners.
Dame, hold on. We got
We're all
scripture.
sinners. You're correct. Matthew 4, verses 1 through 11. First off, that'll tell you where you're wrong. And then if you want the answer to the question of what verse talked about what she was just talking about, that is also Matthew, sir. And that would be Matthew 25, 31 through 40.
Oh.
So are you trying to tell me the Bible doesn't tell us to judge righteously?
Dame, we're saying you're not filled with the Holy Spirit and you
When you
can't.
get the mote out of your eye, you can judge righteously.
It's
okay,
so,
and I
when
can
you
tell
get
my
that mote
brother
out
if I
your
think
eye.
he's living in sin. I'm more wrong from watching my brother in fake love and telling him he's doing the right thing, way wrong, and then judging him and telling him you need to do
hold
something
on.
better, man.
Hey, Zeus.
We have to move it on because Dame is not qualified to talk Bible with Big Zeus. Yes.
One thing, and I promise to God, I'm done.
Okay.
You cannot uphold the 10 Commandments when you breaking every last one of them.
Amen.
So okay.
I like to teach
Dame,
Zeus, man. Keep her around.
Well, you need to make sure you listen to her. Now, I wanted to get to attacking because I haven't heard attacking. Are you there, brother?
I'm just sitting here quietly.
Now, I've heard a lot this morning, and you could talk about anything. But do you have any information? Because I think you and I spoke one time about Biden and this Iran. They're saying Biden gave Iran a bunch of money. Do you know about this?
I think he's talking about turning the money over to Iran. That was our money or their money under Reagan, and through international legislation, we can't just keep their money without turning it back over to them. So we turned their money back over to them. And see, it's not ours. And so they try to say, "Oh, America gave the money to do this," and it's their money. What do you need, Lex?
Hey, attacking really quickly. I was going to add on to that. That was that deal they made to make them stop producing weapons grade plutonium. And then Donald Trump went back and screwed that up. Now they have the stuff.
Exactly. They reduced their centrifuges from 19,000 to 6,500. They followed the policies and guidelines within the policy. Our own nuclear scientists and the other.
So hold on. So your argument is what, sir?
Excuse me.
What is your argument, sir?
Okay, you know what you should do? Have politeness when somebody else is talking. I don't put up with the stuff. Okay, so just sit there until I'm done, then you talk. Quit interrupting. You've got to do
I'm a grown man, bro. You don't tell me what to do.
And it takes longer for the conversation to get going.
Dame, let's just go ahead and round this corner together, buddy. Come on, he's been quiet the whole time.
So anyway, our other countries and our nuclear scientists said that they followed the policies and guidelines. So once Donald Trump ended that, that's when they started to up their centrifuges again, because Donald Trump is the one who pulled everybody out of the agreement. No one else, Donald Trump. And then he wants to negotiate, trying to make another a good deal, when a good deal was already done by Obama. Now, the thing is this. Wow. Dane is a typical Trump supporter. He interrupts everybody who's talking. He doesn't have anything factual. And the thing is when you ask about stocks in China, what somebody should do when you're asking about information, maybe you should look up the information before you talk about what the information is. This way here, you can rebut it.
Oh.
And in regards to everything that you've said in regards to the good book, the Bible, you voted for a guy who cheated on every wife, raped his first wife, assaulted women, assaulted
It as
children.
well. Moses
So
unalive.
there you go, Dave.
Damn.
Somebody talking.
I rebuke that demon inside of you. Control it, brother.
Is just sit back and be quiet. In regards to businesses coming back off of these tariffs, do you understand the technology and the substance of bringing back a business? It's not just going to happen overnight. It's not like there's an empty building that's already set up for a manufacturer. It's going to take 1.5 to 2 years, depending on the technology. They're not just not coming back, okay? And all these deals that Donald Trump is supposedly doing, what happened with Foxconn when he was president the first time? 13,000 new jobs. That didn't happen. And in regards to this plane, it's his plane. And just like Shay said, it's going to take about 1 year to 1.5 years to revamp it for a president to fly in it. And it's going to cost you, the taxpayer. Of course, you don't care now because it's for Donald Trump. You don't care if your tax money is going to go fix it. Okay, it's going to cost $1 billion to sit in a freaking building.
Wow. Corruption at its finest. W attacking.
It's literally the flying Trojan horse. But attacking, I'm going to say this one thing and I'll be quiet. It's a flying Trojan horse. But you know something, attacking, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it out loud. If you get in a wrestling contest with a hog in the mud, both of you are going to get muddy, but the hog's going to like it.
Exactly. And by the way, we're talking about the terrorists that Donald Trump is praising now.
Yeah.
The terrorists that he's praising.
What is that? That's insane.
Dame.
So, Mr. Zeus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't let it go since he brought up Christianity.
This guy.
And Takesha is not the only Christian on this panel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak as the Christian.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to go through this really quick.
Dame, can you contain the demon? I already can tell it's getting disturbed just by Nutty.
Can we play a game?
Yeah.
Can we play Trump or not Trump?
I love this game.
Can we play Trump or not Trump?
Let's play it real quick.
We can play you or not you after. Go ahead.
Humility and servant leadership. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump.
Mark 10:43 through 45. Treatment of immigrants and refugees. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump.
Leviticus 19:34. Truthfulness. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump.
Colossians 3:9. Proverbs 12:22. Love for enemies and non-retaliation. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump.
Matthew 5:44. Romans 12:19. Wealth and generosity.
Not Trump.
Not Trump.
1 Timothy 6:10. Adultery and marriage. Trump or not Trump?
Trump.
That's Trump. That's definitely Trump. That's all him.
Respect for authorities and peacemakers. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump.
Romans 13:1 through 2. Matthew 5:9. Avoiding division and discord. Trump or not Trump?
Not Antichrist right there.
Proverbs 6:16 through 19. Love your neighbor. Trump or not Trump?
That is not Trump at all. Not
Mark
him.
12:31. I just got a couple more. This is a big one. Honoring women. Trump or not Trump?
Dame, you can chime in with us, Dame. Dame, you can answer with us. You can answer with us, Dame. This
Justice
is good.
for the poor and oppressed. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump.
Not
Proverbs
Trump.
31:8 through 9. Isaiah 1:17. So my last one is serve as a role model. Trump or not Trump?
Not Trump. Hey, Dame, is your mic okay?
Dame.
Is your mic okay, Dame?
With all of those things that I just asked, Trump or not Trump, it was not Trump. So how in the world can you bring up religion or Christianity when it comes to this tyrant that's occupying the Oval Office?
Because I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Trump's
See,
policy.
hold on, sir.
Now say policy. Now do Trump's policies or not. do
Hold
his
on, Shay.
policies. See, y'all always go to the man and his personal.
Dame, here's my
No,
question
bro,
to
Take
you.
no,
away
because
Medicare
that
from
was so
children.
weird.
Shay, hold
Honestly,
on.
that was very weird because you're like, I didn't vote for how he act on The Apprentice or his
Fair.
businesses or
That's
his
But
Trump
you
fair.
just
casino.
asked us
I
if we was
voted
a
because he wanted
Christian.
Keisha,
men to
hold
be
on.
men, women to be
But
women,
you just
protect the
asked us
border,
how can we
Dame.
vote
put
if we
veterans
Hold
in
ain't
on,
America.
we're
Christian.
yelling.
Dame.
Oh
We're
my
yelling.
God.
Let's get it back to one at a
Dang,
time.
you just
Dame.
asked
Can
us
I
how
get
can we be a
Takesha? Me
Democrat.
and you been cordial. Don't let that
No,
demon
and I've been
Antifa
cordial to you, Dame,
mess
because
this good
People and
Let,
conversation
other
up.
people.
I
Listen,
certainly haven't
Stop being
said what I
hateful.
really wanted to
and,
say.
okay,
sir,
hold on, Nutty.
honestly,
Let Nutty
I didn't heard
finish.
it all.
Let Nutty
I didn't
finish.
heard
Yes,
it all.
please let me finish.
Let Nutty finish.
When can I? Okay,
Dame,
go
you
ahead.
And
brought up
you're next, Dame. After Nutty says what he
Dame, you
says.
brought up Christianity. You brought up the Bible. Do you consider yourself a Christian, Dame?
I am yes. I'm an
Okay.
extreme Christian.
No, you're
Okay.
not.
Great.
That's
Great.
trying.
Thank you.
No, you're not.
Answer
That's
that
growing
question.
every
Hold
day.
on,
I'm an
Takesha.
extreme Christian.
No,
Yep.
you're
Thank
not.
you.
Hold
Dame,
on,
thank you
hold
for
on.
answering that question.
Then
Thank
I'm
you.
still a sinner at the same time, and I'm
Dame,
still a
Dame,
sinner.
Dame,
So if
Dame.
you,
Stop.
Dame,
You're
if
going to
you
hell
are
for
an
that.
extreme,
Like
if you
all of
are,
us.
I got a
Dame,
quick question for Dane.
Okay, after Dame responds to Nutty, you'll go Val. But Dame, please don't start getting the Lord judgment on you on my live. I don't want to be near you, or any of us think we need to be near you when lightning strikes your
Bro.
special behind. Stop it.
All right.
All right,
Go
Nutty,
ahead.
please continue. Extreme.
as an extreme Christian, you ask us how could we vote Democratic, and then you're gonna turn around and say you didn't vote for Trump because of. Do you see the conflicting statement that you've made, sir?
That's
Do
a
you
yes or
see
no,
the
Dame. That's
conflict?
just a yes or no. But don't bring
No, I
any of
don't
that
see it.
wicked.
No.
Okay,
Can
he
you
don't see.
elaborate?
Let's get past the fact that just saying
Okay.
extreme Christian is
No. Let
anti-Christian
me
alone.
respond.
So
All right, Val. All right.
Val, it was my turn, sir. It was my
go
turn.
ahead.
But look, I didn't vote for President Trump's personal life. I voted for his policies, okay? So, yes, everything that you probably said, of course, you can take a person's worst parts of his life and dictate how they are from those things. We can do that to everybody on this panel. Well, maybe you guys are just God's gift to green earth. I don't know. But
Why don't
anyway,
you
Dame,
give
I
me his
Hold
voted
on,
free
hold
for
on,
will
his
Dane.
and his
Hold on. I want to
policies.
go down this
I
policy
voted
thing.
for
I want to go
his
down
Hold
this
on, Val will
policy.
be next.
Sir, I voted for his policies. Now, does
antithetical
his
to
policies,
Christianity.
like, who does it hurt putting Bibles in school, reminding kids that this is a Christian nation? Who does that hurt?
It is not a
The
Christian
First
nation.
Amendment.
Hold on, Dame. I gotta strike you down again. Listen, you keep playing with fire, you're gonna get burned. Val, could you please respond to
Yeah,
Dame?
yeah.
Because this brother's
I
And,
done.
have
and,
a
and let
question
me
for
give
Dane
mine
because
because God said,
I
hold
think
on, time
going
out
down
one
the
I
second
road
thought
that
before
we're
okay.
Val
going down.
responds. I just
I
want
think
to
I
say
think
mine.
going down
Let
the
me
road
say
that
this.
Hold
we're
Let me
on,
going
hold on.
respond
down.
because no,
Were
no, no,
you
sir,
done?
please.
Okay, I
I
may
have
have
a
jumped
right
the
to
gun.
talk, sir.
You should
Let
have
me exercise
responded
my
first,
First
Dame.
Amendment.
Hold
Let me
on, Dame. You
exercise
should
my
have
First
responded
Amendment. Zeus,
first. You
Zeus,
should have responded first. So
Zeus,
go for
please.
it.
It was just one thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me say this. God said, I knew you before you were in the womb. Okay, so if you vote for AB, Mr. Keisha, you going directly against his order because me and you both know he knew you before. So you could go to they're not a fetus here to 3 months, 5 months. I knew you
Dang,
before you were
Don't
dang,
in the
fall for it.
womb.
dang,
Oh my God.
dang,
Don't fall for it,
Also
dang.
gives
Takesha.
us free will,
Yeah,
Dave.
Hold
don't
on,
go down
hold
don't go
on,
down
hold
the road.
on,
I'm
hold
trying to keep
on,
this thing on the
hold on,
tracks.
Zeus. Zeus, I'm not even gonna say but a couple of words to address Dane.
Lord have mercy. Go
Y'all
for it.
keep harping, y'all keep harping on AB. But the Bible says thou shalt not kill. That's with your tongue. That's with the unalive penalty. Some of y'all support it, but why do y'all always go to AB? The Bible give a lot of specifics on how you can kill somebody with your tongue, sir. It says that, but y'all keep harping on AB. You don't know what I support. Just because I'm a Democrat doesn't mean I support everything the Democrat does, young man. Get it together.
W to Keisha. Now, Val. But I see you were supposed to respond after, and I think
No,
that's the order.
policy. He said policies. Dane, I got to ask you this. Was the policy you supported bringing over what's going to be 5 plane loads of YT South Africans
Many of them got
to come
appointments.
over? Hold
How
on, sir.
many of
To
those
come over
He
here,
applications
didn't
are
interrupt
approved?
you, Dame.
to
Oh
come
my
over
God.
here and live off our government free for 12 months? Oh, to actually get that 40 acres and a mule. Dane, is that the policy you voted for?
Legally, I voted for that. You goddamn right. Just like the
Oh,
Haitian.
wait, whoa,
Well,
whoa,
he
whoa,
just
whoa.
used the Lord's name in vain.
Dame. You a Christ, you a Christian, and you said that?
You devil.
Came here the right way.
Dame.
They didn't come here the
laws.
right way. We
Dame.
brought them here.
So did the Haitians? Hold on.
Dame, did I hear you?
Did the Haitians in Ohio come here the right way?
Dame, did I hear you? Dame, did we hear you say GD?
Val.
Dame.
I said GOTS. GOT. I said GOTS.
No, you didn't.
But look.
No, you didn't.
Oh, he a lion. He a slippery one up there.
Val, let me tell you this, Val. So did the Haitians on the TPS program that went through everybody else that was waiting? Did they? What about?
No, sir. They didn't go. See, sir, that's where you're wrong again.
Okay,
they
but
did not wait on anybody
I'm just
else.
asking,
They were
bro.
brought
Did
in.
they not?
They were brought in by a state, sir, because the state could not get people to come there to work.
Okay, and what does that have to
sir,
do?
That's
they
not
still
the problem
came.
here, sir.
They still came. So why do you have to pivot to? I didn't ask you that. Did they?
Sir,
Oh,
the
whatever,
farmland
bro,
that is
this
about
the
to go to
pivot
these
line.
people. Look, you can talk all you want, but you're not going to talk over me. I promise.
Yeah.
The farmland that's about to go to these people, sir, was purchased by a group started by J.D. Vance that took advantage of farmers that couldn't get subsidies that this legislative branch has canceled, and they're having to sell their farms and they're buying it on the cheap. Okay? This is what these people are about to get, sir.
Many of those farmers got their applications approved so far from South Africa, Val. As of today.
That is what this is, sir. This has already been reported on. Go read on it.
Can you tell me, out of the 8,000, how many as of today applications have been approved to come here on American land?
Sir, they were brought here willingly by the president of the United
Zeus,
States.
You see why
they subverted every norm of coming into this country.
Let me see.
Okay, so I get your headline news.
Dane, give us the number.
News article.
Dane, give us
100. 100.
Give us the number.
100.
Exactly. Just 100.
You tell me how many. How many as of today?
No. You
got their
asked the
applications
question,
approved?
so you should have the information right at hand. How many exactly?
100.
One is too much.
100. Tell me how many applications got approved in attacking as of today.
In the question, so you should have that information beside you.
You guys are coming with headline news talking.
Like I said yesterday, if you can't force women to birth them, import them.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's too late for them already.
But
Dame, you know something, Dame. These Afrikaners would not pee on you if you were on fire. You're a black man. They would only want you to step on their property. You know something in South Africa that they would try to run you over with a car if you're walking this street if you were black.
Stop putting it like I'm caping for them. I don't care about them.
Dame, why are you talking while I'm talking? Okay, so I wasn't talking. I respectfully was quiet. So the thing is they're bringing South Africans over here who absolutely hate black people. They live segregated from the African indigenous people when they were in South Africa. They stole 90% of their land. Now they're coming over here and getting free land. And if you run into one, he will probably spit in your face better than say hello to you because they hate us. That's why they brought him here. Why is it that he kicks out the Haitians and all the brown people and brings these people on the same TPS that he
about all the Afghanis?
Yeah, he's kicking people out. He's kicking people out. Except the one thing is, those people aren't persuasion, Dane. So what I suggest you do is go find a South African, if you can, walk up to him and try to shake his hand so he can spit in your face, because that's what he's going to do.
He or she. Yeah. So Dane.
Hold on. Excuse me, Mr. Attacking. Lex,
what does Dane say about due process? What do you think about due process?
Would a South African hire one? Would you think they hire one?
What do you think about due process, Dane? What do you think about due process, Dane?
I believe if you are a threat to America, you should be subjected to expedited removal. What
if you're not? What if you have no criminal background like Mr. Garcia? Why should he not receive due process?
Well, his wife that filed 2 restraining orders on him begs to
That
differ.
has nothing to do with
That has
nothing with
everything to
him
do with it.
committing
I
a
don't care
crime,
about
Dave.
Didn't
somebody
talk
that
about his
DV'd their
personal
wife.
life. Remember, you didn't vote for
I
Trump.
don't care
His
about
personal
nobody
life.
that
That
DV'd
Why
has
are you
their
nothing
throwing
to
wife.
out
do with due
Obrego's
process, Dave.
personal life? Shouldn't matter, right?
Dane, that has
Okay.
nothing to do with due process.
Shouldn't matter, Christian.
Dame,
Okay.
we need. Okay, Malaysia.
personal life
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
matter
I haven't talked to Malaysia.
Yes,
She's
he
been mighty
is.
quiet. Malaysia, how are you doing up there? I'm so sorry. How are you doing up there, Malaysia? Are you there?
59 Africans.
I think Malaysia has left the building.
Not even 100. 59 African.
Sorry, Malaysia.
Applications.
Malaysia, you did great. You did great, Malaysia. I'm so sorry, but we're doing an expedited moment with you. You know.
Zeus, can I speak on the Africans?
Yes, you can.
So, there is a March, a May 15th, I believe it is, May 15th article. Yes, May 15th, by Eduardo Medina, reporting from Birmingham, Alabama. This is in the New York Times. He's speaking about an Afrikaner farmer that came to the United States in that first group. He landed in Birmingham, Alabama. This man has already gotten office space, and guess what, Dame? He's getting a farm. That's why he has the office space. Go read the article. I just gave you the article and where to find it, so you can go read it for yourself. They have a photo of him and everything, cheesing from ear to ear, talking about his time in South Africa. I encourage you to go read it, Dame, because everything that you're saying, well, what about? Here it is in black and white in the New York Times. But you want to complain about America first. Where is this America first, Dame? When I think Takesha said, or someone else said, that money that we spent going picking these terrible people up because they are racist, the money we spent going to pick them up could have gone to American citizens that are living on the streets.
Antifa, do I have a right not to agree with that and other stuff that President Trump does? Do I have that right, Antifa, and still vote for it?
You have the right to agree with it or disagree with it, yes.
Okay, well, I disagree with that. And anything that's anti, like, America First policies that I voted for, Antifa, I disagree with that. But just like Ms. Takesha said, I'm not going to agree with everything he does, man. And I don't think y'all understand that.
But Dame, why haven't not one time have we heard you come out and say that was wrong? You haven't said anything negative other than I don't agree with it.
That's why
you're not.
So Dame, I want you to go look at what they did to Bantu Stephen Biko in South Africa. These are the same people he's bringing over here.
Mentality.
Now we have Jim. I brought Jim up here. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Hey, how's everybody going? It's been a minute.
All right, we're glad you're here. Sorry that there's a lot going on. Is there anything you would like to weigh in about and speak on? We have Dame here, who's in a bit of an intervention mode. He's struggling.
I've been listening for a while, and I've never heard a Christian scream the GD word so quickly, protecting apartheid and supremacy. No, you didn't. It's recorded. It's recorded. It'll be blasted on Twitter. It's recorded. Hey, I have a question for you, Dame. When in history have you ever seen refugees, the title that they've been given by the President of the United States, refugees that weigh well over 300 pounds, in most cases these men, carrying luggage and their children and waving American flags? When have you ever seen people seeking asylum flying over a border? Flying meaning they were given a plane and food while they came across the ocean to get to the United States. Please enlighten the entire 2,000 people in here where you literally have seen luggage carrying refugees. Please tell the world in your great wisdom, your Christian mindset, where you have ever seen them lauded into a freaking airline where they've carried their own luggage, where they're literally so fat they took up 2 fucking seats. Excuse me, sorry. Tell me.
I got that, Jim.
Tell me when you have ever seen that, Dame, in your wisdom. While we have literally watched genocide happening in Sudan, when we have literally watched genocide happening in Palestine, where we have literally watched mothers
unalived in the Rio Grande with their babies on their backs. Please enlighten us, Dane, where you have ever seen that in history. Where we, the American people, have been forced to pay for white supremacists to fly into our country and be fast-tracked into American citizenship. Please enlighten us. Because I have never been more repulsed by a man in my life than listening to you say GD. I, as a Christian, totally support the illegality of this fast tracking of apartheid white supremacists who have literally harmed actual Africans for over, 60 years. I mean, literally, the head of the country was imprisoned for 27 years.
Wow.
For nothing other than the color of his skin.
Wow.
So please, Dame, tell me how you support that again and make sure you allot it with the GD in front of it to ensure that everybody hears how proud you are to literally be the person supporting white supremacy. You are the most despicable person on this app right now today with that comment. We are literally watching a mother in Georgia, a black woman, be forced to stay on life support, pregnant, right now with an unviable fetus, and the bills are going to be in the millions that her family has to take care of, while these fat South Africans are being flown on our dime. Please enlighten us, Dame. Please enlighten us how you are really going to hold the ball sack of the Trump administration.
Yeah, I want you to have that same energy because ma'am, the last administration did absolutely.
Are you going to let her finish, Dame?
No, because the last administration.
You're going to get a chance to respond.
Wow, this is insanity.
You are gross. There is
and I think you're gross too. I think you're more gross.
There's nothing that you are ever going to be able to do to walk back what you have said here today. Every single person.
I say this every day, ma'am. I say the same thing every day. You recorded that for nothing. I say it every day.
Dave, you're going to respond.
When these apartheid white supremacists are allowed to harm black people in our country, I hope the first person doing a report on that
in Jesus' name.
You. And
I rebuke you. That's not Christian.
I gotta mute you, Dame. You're crashing out, bro. He's crashing out. Get him, Jim. The demon is coming out.
I had no intention. That was the most disgusting thing I have ever heard on TikTok in the last several months, and I've heard a lot of gross stuff.
Yeah.
But to have a black man come on this live and literally support white apartheid supremacy in this country on our dime, carrying luggage and literally taking up, I said 2 seats, I meant 3. One of them was so damn big they needed a whole cargo plane just to bring his fat ass over here. Miss me with your bullshit. And I'm sorry, I am grossed out. That was the grossest thing. And then you have the audacity to talk about being a Christian. You are no Christian, sir. You are the Antichrist. And let me remind people that the people of Haiti, since Dame wanted to bring those people up, those people literally were the absolute.
Listen, you've been up here all morning, bro. Let her cook. Let her do what she's doing. I'm eating what she's cooking, bro. Relax. W Jim in the chat. Dame.
Their entire country devastated by an earthquake. Their entire country war torn. That's the difference between seeking asylum and being refugees, is that they literally had a reason to leave their country and seek safety. These South Africans are running from their own demons that they created harming Africans. And you are so lost in trying to have the proximity to whiteness that you can't even see it in yourself. It is gross. And your soul is gone.
It's gone. W Jim. Hey, Dame.
Hold on.
That's what you call.
Number one, man. I call out racists every day on my lives. Okay, and you're not welcome to come with this. That's number one.
The last,
whatever. Okay, let me. Okay, ma'am. You don't own me. You can't speak over me.
No,
you don't own me, ma'am. You don't own me. You don't own me. Okay, thank you for watching me, but I don't know you.
Who's gonna?
Okay, you don't own me. I can speak. I can speak.
Oh, look at that. WQBN. Look at Dame QBN. Just
everything you mentioned.
You're gonna look in the mirror every day, and you're gonna
there you
find
go. That's
out.
what the Democrats do. Talk
Find
over you.
out.
Exactly.
Because there's no amount of a proximity to whiteness that is gonna make you a white man, and you voted for white supremacy, and they know that.
I'm the ultimate.
They know
I'm
that.
the ultimate, ma'am. No man in your life or nobody you know could be me.
They know that.
Trust
You
me.
did that.
Trust me. No man you know can be me. Trust me. But anyway, like I said, Zeus, everything she named, the last administration.
Well, I can only hear one person at a time.
Everything she named, the last administration.
Why are you so upset with what she said?
I'm not. I'm just saying. The last administration funded a massive war. Was responsible for unaliving a massive amount of children. The same thing she said. The same thing she's talking about.
Dame, we're trying to get you to talk about what Jim covered, and you're talking about all this other stuff.
No, I'm talking about what she covered.
Did what Jim say to you? You voted for Trump.
Zeus. She voted for Biden. She voted for children in Israel and the other places. They funded both wars. They let 11 million illegals that
hold on, Dane. No, stop right there, Dane. Stop.
How many Americans have?
No. Misinformation.
I'm about to drop Zeus if they just keep doing
Republicans.
Israel has been funded.
She's cooking you, Dane.
How many Americans have those Afrikaners unalived so far, Jim?
We're reaching towards the end of the show.
Wait, Jim. How many American citizens have those Afrikaners unalived so far? Because
okay, she said she'll answer you.
You ready?
Wait, no, let me finish.
Okay, hold on.
That the Biden administration went through, they already have unalived hundreds of Americans.
Hold
on.
You're
comparing something that could possibly happen to something that already happened. What about Jocelyn Hungary? Jocelyn Hungary was unalived 20 minutes from my house.
Hold on.
Jocelyn Hungary was
I gotta mute it. Hold on.
From my house.
Dame, bring it down. Dame, I gotta stop this thing. Oh Lord, I can only hear one person at a time. So Dame, what was your question? And then I want to hear what Jim answered.
She's arguing about the racist 59 Afrikaners that got approved to come here. I'm asking her compared to the 11 million.
Just say the question.
They unalive. How many?
What's the question
compared to Biden's immigrants?
Okay, so your question is how many people
unalive compared to Biden's immigrants?
Okay, stop. Let Jim answer that. Jim, you heard his question, right?
In order for people to have a realistic understanding, and you really opened up a can of worms because you honestly don't know who I am. But let's be very clear. This situation with Israel and Gaza is not new. This did not happen on October 7th, 2021. They planned this. This has been going on for hundreds of years. And in 1947, it really began. So let's go back in history, shall we? And let's remind people that in August of 2018, the Trump administration literally took away $200 million in humanitarian aid from the Palestinian people. Let me give you that date again. That would be 2018. Took away $200 million of humanitarian aid from the Palestinian people. They were already starting the genocide. They were already taking away the medication. They were already taking away the clean air and water. They were already starting it because he was in bed with guess who? Netanyahu. Netanyahu happens to be the best friend with guess who? Charles Kushner. Oh, who's Charles Kushner, you might add? That would be the felon that Trump pardoned, who's the father of his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. You know, the ones who's in bed with MBS. You know, MBS, the one who unalived Khashoggi. You want me to continue on this little thing? Let's talk about Khashoggi, shall we? A UAE, Saudi Arabian, who was working and living in the United States as a journalist.
Talk about Gaddafi as well.
Dave, let her answer your question, Dave. You opened this can.
MBS, who was literally handed over to MBS and unalived, and not just unalived, dismembered, and literally they recorded it. It was heard. And your person that you voted for was too much of a coward to even listen to the tape as commander-in-chief because he is weak and he is pathetic. And he profited off of the unalivement of an American journalist who literally was sold by Jared Kushner. So let me remind you that when you're going to sleep with Dog Dane, you're going to catch fleas. And you are the biggest one.
W Jim in the chat. W Jim. So Dame and I don't know. No, Dame.
Christian community. Like
Dame,
that's just
don't bring any of that, Dame. Listen, I don't want God's judgment that He's going to do on you to come to any of us, because what you've done this morning is downright disgusting and it's disgraceful. And I'm also I'm looking at the clock, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what? Big Zeus has to run and get up out of here. But before we do, obviously we have reached that moment in the show where it's judgment time.
For your audience, can I say this for everybody out there? Please go read the MNNA agreement. That is a major non-NATO agreement that the United States of America went into with none other than Israel. And guess who the president of the United States was when he did that? That would be none other than Ronald Reagan. So you want a problem with Israel? You better hold your Republicans responsible. You know, the people who control the purse currently. That's a major non-NATO alliance. And everybody on here, if you don't know what that is, you're part of the problem, because if you're coming to political lives and you don't know that we have over 18 major non-NATO alliances in this country with foreign entities for our own protection, and the number one richest one is Israel, Dame. Israel, that Ronald Reagan signed. Do your homework today, Dame, and maybe next time you'll be prepared to speak to me.
Jim. We've reached judgment, ladies and gentlemen, and because Big Zeus has other places to go. And to all the people in the chat, and I see exactly who they are. They say L host. Do me a huge favor. And just continue to sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast, all right? Because that's why I do what I do, and you stick to doing what you're doing, which is, being a hater out there. Dame.
What up?
What are your thoughts about all of this information you've been privy to this morning? Because normally we don't share it amongst your kind, but any of it hit home in any capacity? Are you interested in actually doing a little bit more research on your own and doing what it takes to get out of the cult, because it's judgment time?
It feels good cooking 6 liberals on the panel. It took 6 of y'all to get me in that bit. That's okay. But
let me ask. Okay, thank you. Let me go ahead and let me ask.
Keisha had good dialogue.
Okay. Let me ask the chat.
I respect Mr. Keisha. Everybody else, I don't know.
Let me ask the chat. Chat, is Dame a prime candidate for hell this morning?
Zeus, this is where you put him right here. Put him in. He's a little guy. Put him in this easy.
Yeah. I want to ask the chat.
Oh man, a grown man making memes. Wow.
Yeah.
Great job.
Easy bake. Yeah, I agree. The chat says yes. He's a prime. Yes, Nutty. Because I gotta warm it up. And he's going there. You darn right.
Come on,
you
Chad.
can go ahead and start. Warming. But Jim, she helps you out, but she threw him under the lake of fire.
Yeah, she did. It's over. We knew him. He was a good one. All right. He worshipped Donald Trump. He defended Donald Trump to the end of the earth. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Dame is no longer here because he's been sent straight to hell.
Silence! You matter daily!
Thank you. You can't have that.
Somebody please go find the unclothed man with no skin or meat on his bones. It's a skeleton running around out there somewhere. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
He's got bite marks all over him.
Yeah. Dad, you all did an outstanding job just keeping that demon suppressed and shutting down every single one of his lies. There's no one that believes him except for those who are still in the cult with him. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the panel another huge round. Yeah, everybody.
He has a crush on Takesha. He calls her ma'am. He didn't interrupt her. And he's like, she's the only one he liked on the panel. So good for you, Takesha.
Yeah. And
I don't know why he liked me.
Takesha, you got a fan.
I've been over here tickled to death. I don't know why the man liked me.
Because he knows better.
Jim, thank you for that birthday present.
Yeah. Well,
I can smell the smoke off of that.
Yeah, it was Jim. You did an outstanding job, Dr. Lex, Nutty, Val Shay. It was outstanding. But looking at the time, Big Zeus does have to get up out of here. And before we do, we got to sing happy birthday to Lex.
Yes.
We got to sing happy birthday to Lex, everyone. So, Lex, you get the big screen, and, we'll just rock it out like this. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we do over here. We got to show Dr. Lex some love. Okay, we're going to sing happy birthday and wrap it up, all right, ladies and gentlemen?
I heard it was
Thank you, Dr. Lex. All right. Wow, what a show. I'm exhausted. What you doing?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And a birthday song.
Let's go.
Today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud.
Turn up.
Today is your birthday.
Hey.
Today is your birthday. We gon' turn out. Throw a party, get it lit and wild out. Cut the cake and we gon' say happy, happy, happy birthday.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Look at it.
Happy, happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Let's go.
Happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, 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 hey.
Throw a party, everybody bring a gift. Got a new outfit and it's lit. Yeah. Best day of the year you can't miss.
Hey, hey. Whoa, what happened? Whoa, did I do that? Oh my God. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm jumping around. Hey, happy birthday. We gon' sing it now. Yeah. Today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud. Today is your
Look at all this love you're getting out here, Dr. Lex. Wow, you're famous. Wow. We put in some serious hours. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. QBN. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Turn up. Hey! Look at all these wonderful, amazing people who love you.
Today is your birthday, we gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday,
Let's
I know you're so proud. Today is your birthday, we gon' turn out. About to throw a party, get it lit and wild out. Cut the cake and we gon' say
Happy, happy birthday. Look at all these people that love you all.
Happy, happy, happy birthday.
You all are so amazing.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Look at all of this. I mean, what about? I mean, they say we spread hate over here, but clearly this is a lot of love. A lot of love. They got a lot of people who love you, Dr. Lex. Obviously, even, keep your shirt on, though. All right? Because that'll get you someplace, all right? Jubian! Let's go.
Okay, so
all right.
What I was going to say is being a part of your community and the one thing that I learned growing up was to give out as much love to people as I can, and that's for everybody. Nobody should be excluded. Sometimes I get a little bit aggressive when I'm going after MAGA and people are going against the Constitution and we as Black people and our progress. And, for that happening, sometimes I have to apologize to people for saying stuff out of place. But the one goal that I have is the freedom and the happiness for everyone on this planet and in this country, big and small.
Amen.
So that this is a part of we were placed on this planet. God put us on this planet to love each other, and everything that's happening now isn't a part of what his message was. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it out loud. I know every single person on here. I see everybody's names, and I remember the names, and I recognize who they are in other panels and other spaces. But I'm going to tell you this, I love everybody. And we should all try that because it makes you happier. Being angry and being hateful takes a lot of more energy than it does loving people. But Zeus, bro, I love you. Shay, Val, Takesha, you guys are all special to me. Jim, I'm going to have to put some salve on my eyebrows because you burnt my eyebrows cooking Dame.
Yeah.
I just have one quote for you, Dr. Lex, because when you apologize for being true to the fight, you lose the fight. So I'm going to say this to you. What lies before us and what lies behind us is not as important as what lies within us. And you prove that every day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a message for all of us there.
Wow.
See, you get gems every day from Jim. There you go. All right. Well, listen, any plans for your birthday today, or how are you planning on celebrating it? Keep it clean.
You know what? I traveled this week, so I've been getting my tomatoes out, my melons. I'm planting. I'm gonna go work in the yard, and
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out with my mom a little bit. Again, I hung out with her. Got to hang out with her for Mother's Day, and my brother. And I'm just gonna do regular stuff.
All right, brother.
I mean, I have to travel. I have to travel, so that's not what I want to do. I'm gonna sit around here in sweats.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, listen, I'm glad you were able to spend your birthday with all of us, brother. All right. And hope to see you around next year around the same time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W. Dr. Lex and W to the panel. All right, everyone.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Every one of you.
All right, you all did an outstanding job helping Big Zeus. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that concludes this amazing and spectacular broadcast once again. Oh, my gosh, how do I fix this? Boy, oh, boy, did we tarry together, ladies and gentlemen, and we did a lot. We connected a lot of dots this morning, and you all deserve a huge round of applause. I want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. All right, without you, this show wouldn't be as exciting, educational, and entertaining as it is. And if I didn't get to you today, honestly, it doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means Big Zeus honestly has to get up out of here. I didn't know the show was going to go that direction. Dame, you know what, Dame? You survived as long as you could, but unfortunately, you're on the wrong side of history, and I do hope the feedback you received on this platform and anybody that subscribes to the ideologies that Dame received, I hope you really do take some time and think independently about the information that is shared, okay? Because you can't be a Christian and then tell us that you actually support the most corrupt person in the world right now. It doesn't work that way. Something's wrong up here and perhaps in there. And speaking of that, I also want to give one last round of booze and shame. And this goes out to all of the Zeus haters out there, and they know exactly who they are. These people wake up day in and day out, and they religiously come after Big Zeus, and they say nasty things in the comment section as if they somehow have, the right perspective when they clearly don't. They've been manipulated and bamboozled by their dear leader. These are some of the worst people on the planet. They're the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's give them one last round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
We're going to take out so much money, we're going to pay down our debt, we're going to lower your taxes to insane asylums. They go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter, drill, baby, drill, we're going to frack.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here.
She's gonna bang king, right? Up in there, she was against all the stuff, and then all the stuff, and then all of a sudden, about a year to half ago, when she was getting
turn up, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Frankie very much, but they always go back to what they want.
They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical.
She can't help it. But we're gonna end that.
And we will. Let's go. You weren't saying that in the chat when we were live, ladies and gentlemen. They were sitting there real quiet, weren't they? Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna lower your taxes deep. Insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say. Let's go.
Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack.
Drill, baby, drill. You know what we do over here, ladies and gentlemen. Look, oh my God, Sherry. Let's go. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, what the heck is going on? You guys broke my sound system. How the heck did you do that? Oh my gosh. Don't worry, we'll get it back. We'll get it back. Let's go. Sometimes it does that. We went too hard today, ladies and gentlemen. And drill, baby, drill.
We're gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna be drilling
So deep.
We're gonna be for these.
Let's go.
We're gonna take out so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt.
We're gonna lower your taxes deep. Insane asylum. You know they go crazy when I say, tell them heaven.
Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack.
Have a great rest of your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Tiny Tank Top 10. I see you. Getting cooked. Here it goes. Here you go.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. They say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter?
Why would he do that?
We're going to lower your taxes, deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal.
Hey, let's go. You know what Hannibal Lecter is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Lower your taxes. Turn up. Let's go. Drill, drill. W, Rick. Let's go, let's go. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums, you know. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. How much do you owe on your house? Oh, don't worry, we're gonna pay off all your debt. You owe some property taxes. Don't worry, we're gonna lower your taxes, all right? Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we got to do in order to save. You know what? We got so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and all we got to do is drill, baby, drill, and then after that, do a little fracking, all right? If you know what I mean. All right, ladies and gentlemen, see ya, Q-Dog. See ya, Edge. See ya, Shay, Jim, Nutty, all of you attacking. Ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there. No TikTok.